We live. Episode 13. Episodes flying off the table one by one. Episode 13. Pang, Tegan, what good, my brothers?
Everything good, man. Here, I literally just signed off one computer on to the next. So just here chilling, man, and excited for this up and coming interview we about to do.
Well, as for me, right now, brothers, I know you guys there in the States, but sing quite hot, brother. And I ain't talking about the sun. I talking about the sun them I rip up the man them has Shaq and Williams the light, and that thing catch fire. It was all over the radio, the internet. I mean, the young people them want to revolt me. I just telling them, man, just hold it down. I just let we go through the proper channels. We gonna get back our chat. I hold it down for now. So, but it was so happy to see so many young people call the radio station today. It was crazy. It was really crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
When you say rip up the track, what do you mean?
Well, you know that the main track is down after the hurricane. So them young guys got together. Them man had a track in Williams the Light, and that's what that man been racing. So gotcha. I guess word came out that it wasn't legal. Stuff happened. I don't really know the real true story, but I've been pulling from here and there, and eventually that man went to there, dig up that man track, my son, and tell that man no more racing, my son, and that was it. It was so sad, man. And that man doing it for over 2-3 years, no problem, nothing. So it was really sad. It was kind of really sad, but man, people calling the radio station crying for the young man there, man. It was crazy. It was really
I don't blame them. I was taking away something homegrown for the people
and keeping the youth out of trouble. And one thing with sports, no matter what sport it is, it always have that building block to bring everybody together. Okay. Yeah. And horse races in our culture from birth. You know, when it comes race day, everybody is about it. So
yeah.
That one they hit hard, man. They hit hard. You know, like I say, it's two ends of the stories. I hear the governor, he spoke today, and he talked about proper channels and legality and stuff like that. It's a fair point. But you gotta feel for the young man there, man. Like, God, I mean, you can't play basketball, you can't play soccer, can't do nothing really physical because of this COVID. You have a little opportunity to do a little horse race. It's like everything is a problem. It's like, it's crazy. But I ain't got an answer to it. But today was like hot. I mean, I never see so much senators been on the radio in my life. Cause them man calling them man out like white and rice, brother. It was crazy.
Well, I gonna ask you this when we get to the end of the show. Regarding you being on the radio, that's a daily thing for you.
Well, no, I just listen.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go on the radio. I just listened to play shows them and stuff like that.
All right, good.
So last episode 12. Talk to me.
Well, there you go.
Well, last episode was great. Calvert, we do Calvert, right? Calvert was the last episode, right?
Okay.
Yeah. so much. I get mixed up. Yeah. Hey, but no, like, you know, we three of us know Calvert for a minute now. And just hearing the things that he talked about, it was excited to hear what he is up to just outside of basketball. I think that was my most highlighted part of the interview. That's where I take note of. You could tell Calvert is well educated, like the way he spoke, you know, the elegance of his you know, things that he talked about, like it was just enlightening, and it seems like he is on the right path of developing recreation and park, and it just seems like they have the right person on the forefront, and I proud of Calvert, because I know Calvert as just a band comedian, you know what I mean? So it's just to see the professional Calvert White, and I really, really, really enjoyed that part of it.
I echo everything you said. It's ain't really much more I can add, P, because just like you, we had an opportunity to play with him on the national team, and I learned a lot from him there. But now off the court, how he has transcended. Now I'm actually still learning from him the way he carry himself. You know he's one of the best jesters out there. He makes sure everything is on point.
Yeah.
So he gotta make sure he's the nicest thing. He's the strongest commissioner, so he's still in the weight room. But he's from day one. When I met this guy, I said, man, this dude is man with leadership qualities. I still sticking him a little bit about running for Senate and stuff like that because it's people like that we need in the Senate. The Senate, man, we need leadership qualities and we need people who genuinely care. And I definitely will put my name on the line. He genuinely care, and that's one of the biggest thing I take from it. So, big up to the commish. I still waiting for a raise. I still waiting for my day off, but it's all love.
What I took from it was, I mean, everything you guys said. One thing that was shocking to me was the fact that he started playing basketball so late and how much he accomplished and the opportunities he got. You know, that stood out. And like everything you guys said about the commission stuff like that, you know, he's supporting everyone. You know, his mindset is in the right path, and you know, in due time, you know, with all the support and stuff, everything going to turn the corner and stuff like that. And you know, we appreciate cover. We appreciate everything. I know you talked about sponsorship and stuff like that. We appreciate all the support and everything. So, you know, big up Saeed, Slow, big up Chani, big up everybody who watching. Big up to everybody who watching right now. So we got the guests.
Do your
You didn't give up to the local artists. Them what happened? You didn't say that.
Oh, you want me to? Okay, we running deep in time, so I'll do
it. We good. We gotta make sure that our local people get their respect.
All right. Okay, I like that. Legends340.com. Big up. You know, you guys go log on. You know, check out some of the garments, the clothing, you know, and stuff like that. They have some hot stuff, so go on and check them out. We got Savory Eats LLC, Orlando by Sheena Fontaine. Anytime she have food sale in Orlando, you guys go to support. We have the Good Life Apparel, you know, our boy Nato, you know, big up, support. We have follow on Instagram, Melting Pot Cooking Class, on Instagram, meltingpotcookingclass.com as well too. You know, go ahead and check it out, Andrea. Check it out what she's doing. We got Sabon Caribbean Restaurant, Mitchell McIntosh, my elementary classmate. You know, go on support. We got Apollo Legion. That's you know, a lot of people favorite clothing line. You know, we have follow on Instagram, Island Destiny 340 Serenity Braids by Nikki. Follow that. You know, on Instagram. We have Rico Canario. You know, also follow him. You know, www.lulu.com. You know, /spotlight/R Canario. Is it a / or /? One of them. I don't even know which one this is. / Okay, I had it right. We have we have Right Way Service Station located in Princess next to the Avis. Okay.
That's got my station. Yeah.
We got Paris Enterprise, you know, go support. We have follow on Facebook, you know, Live Wire Sports. I always go follow Live Wire Sports on Facebook. They always live on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Facebook. You guys follow them on Facebook. We have Midnight Entertainment. Big up. Midnight Entertainment out in Jacksonville. Correct, Pan?
Frenchie, you know who is Midnight Entertainment?
Frenchie.
That's Frenchie. That not selling nothing. Frenchie is a manager through his wife. His wife is a rapper.
Sure. I didn't know that.
I got to listen to she, man. She dope.
I need to hear some tunes. Wait, she wasn't a doctor?
She's still doing her nursing thing.
What?
All right. So Midnight Entertainment. Go follow.
Big up Frenchie.
All right. Let me move on.
Doctor.
So we have our upcoming guests. Episode 13, the Elite Podcast. We have Stephanie Piedy Williams. We heard the stories. Talk to me, guys.
Go first, Tiga.
For me, right? I mean, I can say so much about her because I am so humbled to even be in the presence tonight with I will call her young lady because she still look like she still can hoop and ball if I see her when I come home. But she's always been genuine. I heard the stories, never really get a chance to saw her play, but I heard the stories when I was growing up and she saw me start playing. She was one of my biggest supporters. She was always positive. No matter when I was down, she was always positive. She followed me all the way through my career. Even when her son was coming up, I kind of pulled him along, which was Craig. And it was even a bigger honor when Craig was actually at Temple and they asked him who was his favorite player in the Virgin Islands, and he said me. You know, that really shocked me up a little bit, brought a little taste in my eyes. He even wore my number in TCU. So, I mean, I am so embedded with this family. I mean, sometimes I talk about it, I get choked up a little bit, but I got totally nothing but love for Piedy. I can't wait to hear her story. I could be like, I'm gonna tell you, this might probably be the first night I could be quiet. I want to hear everything.
We don't want to hear. We don't believe it. We don't believe it.
I got asked some questions, but I just wanted to soak up everything like a sponge. My main question was, I know she was better than Shaky.
We let's save it.
Right?
Save it. Save
And
it.
I
Save
know,
it. Save it. Save
and
it.
I know that
Save
Craig
it.
get her skills from she. So I got asked
Save it.
everything like two
Save
main
it.
questions.
Save it. Save it. I'm gonna go Pang and then you gonna get yours off and introduce. For me, it's an honor. I've known Piedy for a very long time. I've known Shaky for a very long time, and you know I've known Craig for a very long time too. You know their family is my family as well too. You know a lot of their family is watching and stuff like that. You know I've heard the stories. You know every time I was playing basketball, it seems that she was always there. You know I played against her husband. You know Shaky he coached against me and stuff like that. You know so it's just an honor. I'm excited. I'm shocked Craig didn't pick me as his favorite basketball player. I don't know how that happened, Tegan. Bam, I don't know how that happened. I gotta talk Craig.
Who's the nicest thing?
No man. No man, I'm joking, man. I'm joking. That's honestly, Tegan, that's an honor and that's something you should be very, very happy or proud because you
And I didn't even know this is when I came home and Piedy showed me the booklet for Temple and they ask you things of your history. I saw he put my name. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I was overwhelmed.
It's an honor. It's always an honor. Honestly, it's one of the most important thing is life is always an honor that you could inspire someone. Same way like how Pang have inspired us. Same way how you inspire Craig is an honor. So, you know, Pang, it's on you.
Well, I've known Piedy probably maybe a little bit longer than Ayo. I came on the scene, the central scene in 94, maybe. But I had known Shaky a little bit earlier from just being around central team, following my brother, and they hearing about me playing ball. So just been on the scene a little bit longer. But honestly, I gonna be honest. I really didn't know Piedy was a superstar until we started this podcast. I gonna be honest with you. I never heard any stories. I never heard any, and that's surprising to me for Ayo hearing the stories, and I have never heard anything. But so this is going to be very exciting for just to hear Piedy's story and learn some things about her because I know Piedy has been a fan of mine and like Tegan says, she's always been respectful. That she got this one of the softest, kindly, stern voice to just give you advice and things of that nature. And she's always been respectful, and she's always been following the basketball scene. And it's going to be a pleasure doing this interview today and just hearing the story of the legendary Stephanie Piedy Williams. And without further ado, the person you all been waiting for to hear this story, Stephanie Piedy Williams.
Pull it.
Good night.
Good night.
I appreciate the love.
Good evening.
Good night, everyone. Tegan,
Good night.
Mumba, Pang, you guys are legends also, man. And what I want to say, I'm really humbled by, when I got the call from Mumba, I've been looking at the podcast and I said, man, this is cool. This is, who figured this out? But, when I saw Tegan, I said, well, this man got a gift for Gab, and if we're gonna have any podcast, where they started basketball, the Virgin Islands, our kids, and I know Pam very well. I didn't know you do this, but every time I log on, I would see you, the three of you, most of the time. So I say, well, okay. And then Mumbai found out earlier, speaking with Mumbai, that he's a techie guy. Sometimes we only see the athlete in us that we do, because I had to say, well, what is it that you do? for a living, and he, was telling me what he does, and with that, I could see, where the technical stuff comes in. But
Right.
I'm honored to be a guest on the show, and like you guys said, you guys are quite a bit younger, than I am, and during the days, when I played basketball, and for those of you that may not know, I wasn't born in St. Croix. I was born in New York. My entire family is from New York. My father, his name is Alfonso Acoy Sr. He is a Virgin Islander, and my dad met in New York. My mom is originally from Alabama, and with that, when my dad decided to come back home, we all came from New York here in 1968. I don't know if
Mm.
that's giving a bit of my age, but 1968, and I'm pretty sure with all of this Black Lives Matter, you see that date come up very often,
Yeah.
1968. Especially if you
Mm.
was looking at the July 4th, the Independence Day tribute that CNN had. That date came up quite often. But as I was saying, when we came here, as being Yankees at the time, wherever you were from, you were identified by where you was from.
Right.
And we were a family that came from New York, although my father's from here. But I would not trade living in the Virgin Islands with no other place in the world because it is the most wonderful and the most beautiful place. And we can see that because everyone is coming here to trying to be a part of what we have. But growing up in the projects, I lived in John F. Kennedy Project from the late 60s, and that's where I resided for at least 20 plus years. And I must say the projects were the place to be back then.
Mm.
And it still can be now, but it was it was some place that I really enjoyed as a child. And you know with the sport of basketball and girls not being very active at the time, I was one of those young ladies that was tall. I think by the time I was 10 years old, I was at least 5'10", 5'11", at
Mm.
10 years old.
Oh wow.
So with that, with the different bitty basketball, because I am also a product of bitty basketball. And you know Slim Jim, I don't know if anyone knows this guy. His name is Clayton Miller. His name is Slim Jim. He used to play for the Hustlers many years ago. He was one of the big ones for Hustlers. He also lived in Kennedy Project, and he called me and he said, I'd like you to play on our basketball team. And this is our all boys basketball team.
Wow.
I must say during that time, when you're young and you're between the ages of um 8 and 12, girls and boys are still able to compete on a level where, the guys are not that stronger than the girls yet.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I was able to, you know, especially with my height, get out there and play with the boys. And a lot of times, I was very long. I had that very long reach. And, a lot of times I'd be sitting there waiting to play. And, back then you sitting down and you got winners, you got next. You look down and say, but, because, once you get in the court, for you to stay in the court, you got to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
That's
you look
true.
down the side and you say, well, everybody looking nice, hey, give me a little game, no man. A little game, no man. I can play
Crazy.
it out. So with
So
that, that's how it all started.
that's
Just
Yeah,
crazy.
getting
that's
out
good.
there, playing pickup basketball with the boys, and everybody's like, "What? Son, like you block your shot, yo, block your shot, like you have to shoot, and that's how it all began. And then when I started to get a little older, like 12, 13, and I realized that I'm tougher than most of the guys, most of the young boys that's out there, and I might be a little more determined because when boys see girls on the court, they're like, "My son, not talking about this girl, go play ball, my son. Son, I you can't beat me in no game," and that's how it started. So I would
Mm.
be sitting there and I'll be saying to myself, and I'm analyzing, looking at strengths and weaknesses. when you don't think that those are the things that we should be looking for. And I would look and I say, well, think I can handle that guy. I mean, I developed that instinct for the game, and I knew that playing with guys, I could only be good, really good. Because the older you get, you start playing against bigger guys that are getting stronger, they're developing, and to compete. And you guys at that age, 13, 14, you're like, my son, no girl ain't beating me, my son. A lot of times
Yeah.
I'll be sitting on the side saying, well, I don't think he know what he in for when I come on this court. And a lot of times I can honestly say I really had a knack for the game. Really good knack for the game. When the game was over, a lot of guys would say, a lot of the young boys would say, listen, you hear them shoo in the corner on the side, my son, you're good.
Yes, that's respect. That's
Yeah, that's
respect
respect.
there.
And I would let them, have their discussions. I turn my head the opposite way and I feel like I'm not listening because I don't want anybody to feel ashamed. And they're having their little discussion about me over there, and I'm like, yeah, you just didn't know. And that's how it started. So, to get back to Biddy basketball, like I can remember, and this is how I kind of crossed paths with Shaky around that time when we were 12 years old, because Biddy, we East and West had to compete for the championship to see who was going to St. Thomas,
Right.
and I think it was Dread Youths. I don't think we played against. We didn't man them, and I think Pushers or somebody on the West played, and they lost on the west end side, but we won on the east end side, which was young. We was young youths, so we competed against. I think it was might have been. I can't remember, but whoever we competed against, we won, and we won
Mm.
the right to travel to St. Thomas to
Wow.
play for the championship division, the
What
men's
was
championship.
Shaky on your team?
Shaky wasn't on my team. He wasn't on my team. I
So my
never got a
first
chance to play
question,
against him
with all that being
because the
said,
team that he
who
played
was
against.
better?
Well, I've had a lot of people. I've had a lot of
I
people.
rolling with you. I rolling with you.
No, no. Let me say this. Shaky had the quickest hands in the world, and you could ask Zoro. That's where Zoro got that flying steel from. He
Yeah,
got
he,
it
he
from
mentioned
Shaky.
that.
He stole the flying steel from Shaky. And I said, when I look at it, when I look at him and I was afraid of him because he had the fastest hands. His feet was quick, and if he was loafing, he was going to take the ball, and next thing you know, he's going on the court. But when it came to shooting the basketball, I
Right.
can honestly tell you, he didn't have the touch. He didn't have the. He was more of a facilitator. He was the facilitator. He find who's open, and he was. Sometimes I used to say, "Geez, Brad, you don't never shoot the ball, son."
Mm.
But that was his thing. Now with me, I never really saw a shot that I didn't like because, especially playing with girls, and you're like, why am I gonna pass this ball to her when she's gonna miss? And I know I could make it.
That was my mentality. Good thinking. Good thinking.
It's a song a
Opa,
little
you
song.
see that?
But when you're in crunch time and you got a ball and you look to the side and you have two of your weakest teammates and you like, my son, them two man there, my son, I gonna go take this one. That was something I could say Pang do it. Because let me tell you, I just got to say this about Pam. You were one of the quickest dribblers. You could have maneuvered through cracks and crevices that just wasn't there. You just used to create them. So
Yeah, he was nice. He
that
was
was
nice.
the
He don't like to
distinction.
brag, but the boy was bad.
He was bad. He was really bad. I think when I look back, Tegan, during the days that you guys were in high school, if we only had the recruits that came here to look at you guys could have played at Duke, you guys could have played it anywhere in the country because you guys were that good. But we just never got that opportunity at that break. And then, coming out of high school, we begin to learn the clearinghouse, and we begin to learn that grades and SAT scores and all of those things matter when the decision is made with what university is going to select you.
Right.
Because they're looking at those things and they want to make sure that they make the best choice. But going back to the days of growing up playing basketball, I can recall, and I have to with the utmost respect, I have to give Coach Albert Hazard a lot of the credit for me developing into the player that I was, that I am, because I really believe that, if someone gave me a pair of knees, I think I'll be out there competing. I really believe that. I really believe that because that competitive drive is still in me. The
Mhm.
mind might have it, but the body can't handle that kind of pressure right now.
Right.
But
That's true. That's
Coach
true.
Hazard, Coach Hazard taught me a lot. He pushed me, and in life as coaches, we see potential, but sometimes we gotta bring it out of some kids that don't realize what they have, you know. And he was that type of person, and he brought the best out of me, and I really give him a lot of credit for for me being the player that I was.
Awesome.
But I can remember my high school days at Central High School. We had a lot of pretty good players. Mumba, I'm pretty sure you know Eureka Joshua. To me, she was the second best thing in the territory after I was.
Yeah,
Rita
Rita.
was good. We had quite a few others. I don't know if you guys knew Deidre Arifa Granville. She live in Kennedy also. She went to Laurenburg
Sound
Institute
familiar.
for a year. She was really good. She was a point guard. She was the best point guard that I have ever played with. And
Wow.
growing up when you're playing basketball and you connect with a point guard or someone that just knows your every move without you even having to say, now is the time to throw the ball. It's always
Yeah.
there at the right time. She was really good like that. And as the years went on, got to high school as a senior, and in the early 80s, recruitment for women's basketball, for college basketball, it wasn't really, it didn't really exist as much. And I have to give a shout out to this young lady. Her name is Dinah Johnson. I don't know if any of you know Billy Johnson. You know Billy Johnson?
Yes. And
Billy
Mm-mm.
women,
Johnson, a
Gambling.
legend in his right too.
he could shoot like crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was a scorer.
One of
He
the
was
best I
he
ever seen.
he was one of those. But he had a sister that attended Cheney State University in Pennsylvania, and while she was there, that was the only call that I got in high school of a college that was interested in me. And for those that may not have been aware, Cheney State University, the year before my graduation from high school, they was the first black HBCU that made it to the Final Four.
Wow.
Mm.
That was the first black university, coached by Coach C. Vivian Stringer, who's the head coach at Rutgers University. I got a
Yes.
call from Dinah, and she put me on to speak with Coach Stringer, and through that conversation, and this evolved at very late in July. You know, Usually by then you have already decided by April, May, where you're going. So it was a late call that I got, and I said, well, if they're interested, I'm gonna go. And it was one of the most scariest moments for me because this was the first time that I was leaving my family, number one, and leaving my family by myself. So I did accept the offer, and I did get to Cheney. I did make the team, and I ended up just staying there for 1 year. Okay, and it wasn't because I didn't want to be there. There was just so many other circumstances that that were present at the time that I decided the best thing would have been for me to, to go back home and, start my working career, which I did. For those of you that may not know that I am a retired chief correction officer. I worked in the prison system here for 25 years. I retired 12 years ago. To this date, I retired 12 years ago after working for 25 years. But with that, I continued my basketball prowess. After work hours, we would always be, somewhere playing. And there was a couple of basketball leagues that we had here, and that was in the early 90s. Early 90s. Usi Richards was one of those that him and John Abramson. They had started this women's league, and what we did during that time, since the pool of players was very small, and so that the league could be competitive, you kind of did that kind of draft system, Tegan. I'm pretty sure you're aware with that, where we place players, on different teams, so that we could have a league that has quality to it, that is just not one dominant team. And
Right.
Yeah.
it was
Best way.
it was a way of us being able to showcase a lot of the talent that we had here, because we also had a lot of our high school players that were up and coming. Felicia James, pretty sure you guys know Felicia James. We had a lot of good players that came up during that time, and through the various leagues, I could say that I just had a knack for scoring the basketball. I could remember during that league, it was a four-team league, and there was a couple of games where, you know, I was told I scored over 76 points in a game. And it wasn't
Jeez.
just it wasn't just one game. It was three different
But
games.
let me stop you. Can I stop you before you go?
Yes, you
Because
can.
I heard a story you actually score 100 points in a game.
No, it wasn't
Now, if
100.
you did,
76
I
was the
want
most.
to know what game that was. If not, I want to know your career high.
My career high was 76 points. I had three different games during that league where I scored 76 points in one game. I scored 74 and I scored 72. I mean, I was actually
Wow.
averaging, I was actually,
Crazy.
and this was before there was a 3-point line. And most of these games were not overtime, double overtime. You would figure, it would take you a triple overtime to be able to score that amount of points.
That's
And
a
it was
lot of
regular. Yeah, I mean, when I think about it today, I'm like, that's a lot of getting up and down that court.
It is. That's true.
that's a lot of points.
Yeah, and I
So
do
true.
I do recall, in that league, I was actually averaging 45 points a game during that league. And
Wow.
I can remember when the season was over, the uh, the only accolade I didn't win was assists. And I understand why I didn't win assists, because I was too busy shooting the ball, right?
Don't worry about passing. Just keep letting that thing fly.
Just let it
uh,
fly. Just let it fly. I had a very good knack, for the game and for shooting the basketball, and I was a very pretty good defender also. I think I averaged the most blocks in the league, the most rebounds. I mean, it was just I really just loved the game. And when the time come that I wasn't able to be up and down on the court, I was given a great opportunity by the Basketball Federation, the Virgin Islands Federation, to be a coach, with our national team. I also coached, and how I became very close with Tegan and Fang was when I was coaching with Derek Miller in the late 90s, right?
Yeah,
Fang, you
late
graduated
90s.
what? 98, right? You graduated 98.
I left
Yeah.
98. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had the privilege of coaching with Derek Miller, Coach Derek Miller at the Educational Complex. And that was when I really had an opportunity to see you, Fang and Tegan, really, really showcase your skills and your athleticism.
Yeah.
And those,
Um,
those are days that I would always remember.
one thing
And,
I wanted to
through
ask,
that,
one thing I wanted to
yes.
ask you, Piedy, some of these stories that you're telling and playing in leagues, are you playing against boys or girls?
Well, the one league that I was talking to you about that I scored, that large number of points, that was a girls' league. But with the
Okay.
boys, I held my own too.
Okay.
You know, and I was much younger then. When we got 13 to 15, that was when I decided, because I was, if you knew me back then, I was like 110 pounds wet. I was really skinny. So at 13 to 15, and you start coming against, the young guys, like guys, I'm like, okay, them guys elbows moving a little too fast. They push you hard. But I have to give credit to the young men that lived in the housing communities and played in these leagues for allowing me to be the player that I was.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
every time I
Yeah.
came on the court, the discussion was always, no girl can score on me. I mean, that
Mhm.
was always the discussion. Whenever I came to play, listen, son, I is jokers, young girls can score. And you know how it is, the way it was like when you get blank, Tegan, when the game is over, they say, so you get blank.
Yeah, you want that.
So
Let me
every
roll back a little bit to that question for you because I forget this question. You spoke about you only played 1 year in college, and I know you don't have no regrets because you still have a very stellar career, and you're a living witness of what you have become to all of us in terms of being mentors. But do you ever reminiscent about going back playing for Vivian because she is actually a Hall of Fame coach in the NCAA for women basketball when she went to Rutgers, and you had the opportunity to be under her. Did you ever like reminiscent you had spent 4 years with her and what could have been?
well, to just to shed some light on the relationship that Coach String and I have, is we still have a relationship. When Aaliyah Boston was being recruited, I'll never forget the day of Hurricane Irma. When Irma hit St. Thomas, I'll never forget. Coach Stringer called me that we had been talking, 'cause we have never lost communication. Ever since I've left Cheney, I have always been. I considered her to be she is one of my greatest role models. She's like a mom to me, and I have to give her a lot of the credit for Craig being able to get to Temple University, and how that began was when I was at Cheney. Coach John Cheney was still at Cheney. Him and Coach Stringer coached at Cheney College,
Wow.
Cheney
Wow.
College then.
Two Hall of
After
Famer.
the year that I right, the year that I went to Cheney, John Cheney had just left to go to Temple. So
Hmm.
with us staying in constant communication, whenever there were summer leagues, I have been invited to bring Craig up to the summer camp, and Craig would go and he would play in the Cheney Hills summer camps. And all of that evolved from the connections that I had with Coach Stringer and her and Coach Cheney. So after I think it was Craig's junior's year. That was the last time he played in the Cheney Hill Summer League in Philadelphia. Was when um, Coach Stringer's goddaughter. Her name is uh, Laney. Her mom attended Cheney with us, but she has a daughter that plays in the WNBA. I can't remember her name right now, but Coach Stringer is her godmother. So whenever we would visit the Philadelphia and play for Craig to play in the league, Coach John Cheney would also be there. And with that, we started to develop a friendship, a very close friendship. And with that, Coach Cheney played a major role with Craig being able to go to Cheney, not to Cheney, to
Temple.
Temple, because Craig's first year at Temple was Cheney's last year at Temple. Fran Dunphy was coming in during Craig's freshman year.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
and I say all of that to say, if I didn't know Coach Stringer, I wouldn't know John Cheney. John Cheney was very instrumental with Craig getting into Temple because of the connection that he had with the university and the new head coach that came in. So with that, I must say he had a little bit of favor with Craig being able to attend a spectacular university, you know. And with that, I really try to stay active, you know, always be a mentor to a lot of the young girls growing up and even the boys. I had a stint where you know, Tegan, you know, I love the man league. So I said, I'm going to be the first female coach to win a championship. And I meant it. I meant it. That wasn't a fluke. That was some hard work that went into that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Nice,
yeah.
I
nice.
have to give you all the credit again for just making it possible, for allowing me to continue to live the dream that I just never want to wake up from, which
Right.
is
Right.
the game of basketball.
Yeah.
And you know, you guys know we go to sleep, we think about it. I mean, it's killing me that I can't look at any basketball on television.
I
But
know.
you know, we have to take into consideration, you know,
True.
COVID-19. But you guys might have a couple of questions for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying to myself, wow, Piedy making our job easy. She going down the
You gave me
line
the
and
whole story.
yes, all the questions that we would
We don't need
normally
to ask.
ask. Yeah. The only
So let
only
Perfect.
me let
thing,
me share Adelaide and Calvert White. Calvert and I are cousins.
Oh
oh, for
wow.
real?
Calvert's grandfather, and my grandmother were brothers and sisters. So the White
Wow.
and the
Wow.
Akoy, I am an Akoy before I came a Williams. I'm just borrowing shaking him for now. So let's not forget the
I didn't know
Akoy.
that.
Put the Akoy in
That's
there.
another thing.
Definitely Akoy Williams.
Did you have any
So
Akoi family
Calvert,
relative? Did you have any Akoi family relative that teached in Eulalie Rivera School, Grove School?
yes, yes,
I had a third grade
yes,
teacher, Miss Akoi.
yes. Terry Akoy.
Terry
What was her
Akoi.
name?
Terry
Terry
Akoi.
Akoy.
Yeah.
That's my first cousin. That would be my uncle's daughter.
Oh, that's
Yes, and all of
small
the
Oh
world.
Akoys
wow.
are related. All Akoys are related. It's a one family name.
Oh wow.
Yes, all of us are related.
She used to give me a lot of lash, my son, because I couldn't keep still.
I could imagine.
I
So
had
let me ask you,
ADHD.
because you said like the talent in terms of the women wasn't really highly like recruited and watched, even though your talent was obviously superb. In your, because you have been around for so long, when did you see the change? Like right now, you see the WNBA and stuff like that, and women are starting to get the respect that they definitely deserve. When did
Mhm.
that start happening for you? And did you ever wish that happened in your time? Because you would have definitely been a WNBA star.
I totally agree with that, and I'm not saying it, you know, with any arrogance or anything like that. But you know, as athletes, we could look at talent, and we could, you know, just knowing our skills, we could look at other, you know, opponents, and excuse me, and you know, we'll say, well, whoa, man, I would have did this, or I would have did that. And I really, and I must honestly say, when the WNBA came around, I really started to develop a lot of tendonitis in my knees. But I did take one shot. I went to Florida and I went to orthopedic surgeon, you know, just for him to tell me so that my brain could know that my knees are not strong enough to
It's
be
over.
able
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it's over, you know. So, and I recall when I left the office, you know, the last thing the doctor told me, he says, well, you need to just consider being able to walk if you want to do brisk walking. But he said, you know, the pounding, you know, over the years has really, you know, had a toll on the cartilage. I mean, because right now I've had both of my knees replaced.
Oh
So
wow.
what he was telling me back then was definitely, you know, the early signs of, you know, what is to be and what has become right now. But you know, with the surgeries that I have had, I must say my quality of life has really been restored to the point where I walk 5 miles, 6 miles a day, 5 days a week. And you know, and I have to thank God for the surgically repaired knees. So it allows me to walk. So when you see me walking, Tegan, just know I am just happy to be
Wow.
able to do it, just to be able
It's
to do it.
amazing.
You know? Because you know, it's just that competitiveness. Sometimes I go walking and I would, you know, some people. people that are out there walking with you, they be like, man, you walk really strong. I say, well, that's just the competitiveness in me.
No, I feel you and I relate to you because even though right now I'm 41 and I ain't gonna lie to you, sometimes I get up out my bed, I feel like 100 because these knees are just crack. I get
Yeah,
pain out of nowhere. I don't understand where the pain come from.
yeah.
And people
It's
will be like,
true.
ask you around with me. I'll be like, dude, I don't know. I just run myself out of my legs then. My legs just gone. I can't do what I used to do. I can't do it.
Nope, you can't do. You can't.
It's
You used to.
crazy.
You used to say, boy, I used to have some elevation. I used to look at you guys. My God, I don't think nobody had a higher elevated jump shot than you, Tiga.
Mm.
You know, but as
That's
we get
true.
older,
That's true.
the
It
inches
go
start
lower
to
and
get
lower.
less and less. Then you realize you're shooting a jump shot from standing.
Yep. It get lower and lower. It's crazy.
And we have two viewer questions.
Okay.
One is from Dexter. He asks, who is the best shooter in the family?
Me. And then I would say Craig got his skills from his mom. I have to be the first to tell you that. He
I
got
agree.
it from me. And those of you that know Craig, for a big guy, Craig got a stroke out of this wall. Got a stroke
And
out of
range. He can shoot
and
from
range.
far.
And range. And range.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
he
That's
got
true.
that from me. He got that from Shaky couldn't shoot a lick, but he could have taken the ball from you in the blink of an eye. You looking down and all you know is that the man gone the other direction.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you in terms of
Wait,
the son Craig.
let me get this last question in, Tegan.
Well, Mumba, don't change the subject here because she's talking about Craig. It's a quick question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because one of the things I noticed, even though he got the shooting from you, he's an extremely intelligent basketball player. Who you got that from? Like he can read plays like a god.
Yeah.
He and Coffee is two of the two biggest man that I saw in St. Croix where they read the game 2 and 3 steps ahead. It's
Yes.
just a joy playing with them guys because I don't need to tell them nothing. They just know
Exactly.
what's happening in front of them.
Exactly. I have to give that one to Craig. I think he has owned that skill and that talent all on his own. And I totally agree with you again. And you call that basketball IQ. You know, when you understand the game and you understand, you know, after I make this play, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to it comes natural if you really understand the game. And I have to honestly say Craig has a knack for that. He really
Yes.
does. You know, he really does.
Go ahead,
As,
Mumba.
so Kerry and Shepard asks, when you scored that 76 points, did anybody else on your team scored?
Yes.
Well, what the final score was?
They didn't score too much. And then you gotta look back in those days, right? When you're growing up and your coach is like, listen, give the ball to the person that's scoring the basket.
That's it.
I did, you know, and I must say, and I mean now that Kerry Ann had that question, and I'm saying, well, if I scored 76 points, I'm saying, how much points did the team have? Couldn't even remember. I really never thought about that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Pang, let me. I got one more viewer question. I'm gonna turn it over to you or Tegan if you guys have any questions.
Go ahead.
Des Haywood asks, Piedy, have you played with or against anybody in college that went to the league? And if so, how was that experience?
Well, like I said, I had the privilege of spending 1 year at Cheney, and during that year as a freshman, you know, my minutes were very limited. But I can't recall, you know, being on the court for any significant amount of time with anyone that I could look back and say, well, this person, you know, made it to the league or anything like that. No, but I had the opportunity of just being present and just being able to experience, you know, seeing some of these players,
Yeah.
you know, which was a very, you know, humbling experience coming from the Virgin Islands here back in those days.
You know, being that back then was, you know, we didn't have the social media, we didn't have a camera everywhere you go, we didn't have like the coverage that how
Right.
the sport is covered this day. Listening to your story, honestly, I feel like it's kind of parallel to a very legendary person by the name of Cheryl Miller. It
Oh yeah.
just seems like so parallel listening to your
Mhm.
story, like every course, it just
Mhm.
seemed parallel to Cheryl Miller, and I just that's a bit for me. That's a big feat for how I'm looking listening to your story, and just glad that I could hear this today.
And growing up, you know, a lot of people have seen me and have compared me to Sherry Miller. And the one thing I've always said, I don't think she could have beat me. I really don't.
Right?
I
I with
really
you.
don't. I really
Yeah,
don't. I
that's
really
true.
don't.
That's true.
I really don't. And I am honestly just saying that because I know the skills that I had, but we just didn't get the opportunity,
Right.
and
Right.
when you in hindsight, when you look at life, sometimes some things just weren't meant to be, because if it was, it would have happened.
Right.
So, but I,
That's
I,
true.
I I take comfort sitting back, having the opportunity that I could have seen the McGee twins, Cheryl Miller, and those great players back then. But I've always said, I don't think they could have checked me.
Right. I
Ah,
like that attitude. I love it.
That's how it's
Tegan, that was
supposed to be.
that was your cue for a bullet.
You know that. So, hey,
So
Pai, let me ask you one quick thing. Then we go back to high school. Just 1 second. I know it was always Carol versus Central in those days. Did you have anybody in St. Thomas in terms of the female counterpart who gave you trouble, or you just used to just run through the lead, scoring 17 and change?
I was St. Thomas. They had some pretty good players over there. I don't know. You do know Coach. You know Lisa Reimer. She was
Yes.
yeah.
also one of the coaches for our national team. When I was a senior in high school, she was a freshman, and I never forgot her. And her and I, we never lost contact after that because during my senior year, and I see this young, little aggressive. I mean, this Lisa played with. She she was one of those players that, when you see one of these for that you haven't seen in a long time, you'd be like, man, she's gonna be good. And Lisa was one of those players that I saw growing up. There was another player by the name of Denise Fraser. She played for Eudora Kent. She played on country team. She was really good too. She was my height, but I just had that competitive edge because I played with the boys all the time. But St. Thomas, we had some very good rivalry games in St. Thomas. I mean, in high school, listen, the place to be was at Charlotte Amalie High School whenever it had that tournament Central against Chicken Heart. Those were the days.
Mm.
Basketball was off the chain back then. We just had that love for the game. When I look at what we have now, and what the kids don't seem to understand is that they have more opportunities than we had
Yes.
then, but they don't have the drive and the desire like
That's
we
true.
had then. They don't have it. When you literally we had to be told to come off of the court. When we came to the gym to practice, no one had to say, take your slippers off, put your shoes on. I mean, we was ready to go before the coach even was there. That's that type of intensity and that drive that we had. But now, it's like you have to be begging kids to come out to practice, you know.
Mm.
And Tegan, I'm pretty sure that you come across a lot of kids and you see the potential. I can't teach you that instinctive drive.
That's
No
right.
coach can teach it to you.
Right.
You have to have that. And for the most part, if most of our kids came with that, I mean, the NBA would be full of Virgin Islanders.
And
Right.
I
That's true.
always say that to myself, like it's always like one person, maybe two the most, that have that drive out of
That
the
have that
whole.
drive, and you can't teach it, Pang. Pang, you had
Right.
it. You just couldn't teach. You don't teach that. You have to
Yeah.
come with that, and some people can develop it over years, with the right coaching, and the right mentorship, but it's supposed to be a natural thing that you come with, that drive to want to compete and to be the best. I always wanted to be the best. That has always been me. I mean, when I went up against the boys, I was like, I want to beat you too.
That's
So
right. That's right.
that's really how it was.
But let
So
me let me let me shoot this to you. Because being in the school system, like you said, I see a disconnect in terms of the women and the younger ladies them developing. Because in interscholastic, you have all of these women teams, starting from elementary, middle school, all the way to junior high, and only two. Obviously, we only got two high
High school.
school, complex central. Sometimes country they will come in, make three. But then in the summer, all of these coaches do not continue to develop these girls. They just totally fade away in oblivion. As soon as the school league done, nobody is training these girls. I even attempt to bring a girls league. None of these coaches want to coach in the summer. Unless they get a little stipend, they don't want to coach. And I think that's an injustice for the young ladies in the Virgin Islands. If you say you are looking out for these young ladies, it shouldn't just be for that little stipend. You should be thinking for their future and beyond. And I think that's what's really destroying the female basketball. Like you say, it's a lot of opportunities for them, but the coaches them are too selfish to put out their time. If you, it's everything can't be about money. Everything cannot. You got to put out that time. And I see they have it in elementary, they have it in middle school, and as soon as they reach junior high, women basketball just jump. The girls them
Well,
gonna go play volleyball.
I have to go a bit further by saying too that, you know, when we were growing up, we played all the time. We didn't just play in school. We played in the morning, we played in the afternoon, we played Saturday, we played Sunday. We played every day. But the kids, and it's not just the girls, it's the boys too. A lot of them, they only play during leagues. I mean, we have basketball coaches that are out there that are empty,
yeah,
and my thing is, I can't want it more than you as a coach. You have to want it just as much as I want it. And I
right.
find, I've found over the years, as I continue to, my coaching career and stuff like that, that, if you don't, you gotta call the kid, you gotta pick them up, you
Hmm.
gotta get them something to eat, you gotta drop them home. And if you don't do these things, they're not gonna come.
They come in.
So come on, man. What role does the parent play? The parent gotta play a role in that
I
house.
I always that's one of my biggest push. I don't I you can just Tegan always say this. You can just throw your kids on a coach just so they could be a babysitter and you go about your
Yeah,
business and you can't it can't be like that. You have to be well invested and involved. You could sit in practice, some practice and be engaged so you could know you always know what's going on because sometimes those car ride home you could even give your little pointers and stuff that you
exactly.
observed and it don't just finish in the gym you
No, it
talk
doesn't.
basket it just can't be just the coaches and expect the players to just develop. You have to be well invested. um
Right.
One of the things you just mentioned coaching. One of the things I wanted to ask, somebody mentioned earlier that you coach them at I think they say LB Larson.
Yeah, Alvin.
Alvin, yeah, and just name
I
some of the
pro
teams.
pro pro be laughing.
Pearl B. Larson, that's it, that's
Yeah,
it.
pro be laughing. Yeah.
Name some of the teams some of the levels and teams that you coach, and some of the maybe the standout players that went on to do something that you coach coming up.
Well, um, I did coach at Pearl Lawson School. I think I did 2 years. I coached elementary basketball. There's quite a few young men that came to there. No one that had exceptional, great talent like that, but they all had the drive and the desire to want to be there. Um, I did coach in the man league. I really loved coaching in the man league, and I say that because I had a lot of I had some players on my team, and Tegan, you could attest to that, that just needed a positive reinforcement
Mm,
around them. I had
yep.
some players that nobody would want certain of them to play on their team because they brought a lot of baggage whenever they came to play, and they did this, and kids like that, I picked them because I knew that wasn't gonna happen with me. Number one, I ain't accepting it. Don't bring it. Either you want to be here or you want to be over there. and I've had that opportunity of coaching a lot of the guys that came up through the summer leagues here. I had the privilege of coaching Coffee for 1 year. I think that was the year we won the championship,
And
which
they
was good.
want
I
coffee in the
think
league no more.
Pang didn't
They
decide
want
to
to
come
feel
back that year. So
me.
we had a great opportunity and we stole it. But Tegan, you can attest, and Pang, you also can, because you always came every summer during the end of the league. I was like, no. But I just went with the flow. If this is how the league is running, let's
Just
just
what
do
it
it. I
is.
looked at it, that was my preview, and it made the league a little more exciting. Tegan, I have to say that.
Yes,
There were
yes, it
times
did.
where I thought it was an unfair advantage, but hey, we're here to play. Let's play.
That's
But
right.
to Hoya's credit, they did all the hard work to at least
Yes, they
get to
did.
the point where
Yes.
I
And
could come home
and
and
you
bring it
come in
home.
and you just dance around.
And
You come
cheat.
in and dance around and missing all of these no look passes. I'm like, like, what are you doing?
Well, those are some fun times,
Those were fun times, man. Those were times. Tegan, I don't know if we will be able to bring it back. I don't know, because when you look at the men's league, also that too has fallen off tremendously. I mean, we
Yes,
got to the point where the men's league it was like a boys' league.
it's
You
kids.
know? Yeah, it was just kids alone.
Yeah.
But then you got to look at the fact too. All those legendary players that we had back then, they've gotten much older. I remember the days where my league was like, oh my goodness, the gym was packed.
Pack, yeah.
But things are changing, and I do agree that we have to find a way to get the kids more involved. I did hear you earlier speaking about the situation with that horse racing situation. I
Mm.
did hear it on the radio today. I do listen to talk shows every now and then, and I did hear quite a few of the young men called in. I must say that they were very respectful on the radio, and
Yes,
they voiced their concerns and their displeasure and their hurt. Now, I never knew that there was a substitute racetrack until today. But then, when I heard a young man on the radio say this has been going on for over 2 years, and if that has been going on for over 2 years, incident free,
yes,
why stop it? And one of the guys that came on the radio station, he presented his case so well. And he said, we no longer have the Randall Duck race trap. We no longer have the car trap. We no longer have nothing. And the one thing that gave us enjoyment, you guys came and you just took it away. Now I
yeah,
understand the property, it's private property, and from what the public says is that these people were given permission to use the property, and I'm very familiar with where the property is. And one of the
Yeah.
disclaimers that someone came to the radio station and they said was, "Why is it that the government came to destroy the track on private property?" I don't know what, but I,
That's
I I do agree with you, Tegan. It is something that gave our young men a
outlet.
desire to do so. I mean, they could have been out there shooting and robbing somebody
It's
too,
an outlet. I mean, it's an outlet. I understand some things they're in the right
but they
place, but
choose to do different.
you can't play
Right.
basketball,
They
you
choose
can't play soccer, you can't play nothing physical. It's an outlet. So work with a young man them and make sure they get the paperwork and everything in check and let me keep it going. But it's an
and
outlet for them.
yes. Hmm.
It was sad. I didn't really like it, but I
Someone
understand
told
the
me that
legality
this
of
thing
it.
was being run so nice that they had a race card. They had lineup races. Who's gonna run next? I mean, if it wasn't creating any negative atmosphere for the community, I really would have just left it alone. Because if it's been there for over
That's
two
true.
years and I never knew it was there, that means something is being done right there, you know. So I hope they're really able to get that situation resolved, because our young men really don't have an outlet. They have nothing to do. Those that did horse racing and grooming, that's their life. Just like basketball is our passion and our life, that's their life.
Yes.
That's their life.
So,
Yeah.
so from Mumbai and I and all the viewers who in the United States, why haven't they fixed the hash track?
Well, right now, I know during the previous administration that contracts were signed and that all on both islands, they were in the process of, building new racetracks. And then the administration changed. And with every change, you want to fix it the way you want to fix it. So it clearly means that it's going to delay the project, because now we have new leadership that probably sees it in a different way. But we have to, the one thing we have to consider is that while we're making all of these changes, the people that love the sport and want it back, they don't have it. I'm hoping that they could get that situation,
I think
resolved.
following you, Senator Bailey would have been the next best interview to find out more about this, because he was on the radio also talking about it, and
Right,
he
you know.
illustrated a lot of issues today. So he'll be somebody nice to get on if we can get him over. That'd be good.
I
We'll
agree.
call it
I,
a Hassman episode. Bring out a Hassman to co-host.
yeah.
We go get Jan. He already agreed to do the episode, so it's just whenever we want to get him on and
Okay.
stuff like that. So we go get him on. With the with
My,
that
my,
whole
my
with
last
with
thing,
with
oh, sorry,
with that
go ahead, Mama, go ahead.
with that whole has situation. I mean, that's part of Virgin Islands history, and they erasing the VI history and stuff like that. That stuff been going on for years and stuff, and
It's
incident
our
free.
culture. It's our culture. It's ingrained in us, and this is
Yeah,
what it's just like those of us that eat, sleep, and drink the sport of basketball. They eat, sleep, and drink the sport of horse racing. So
Uh,
it's no different. Everyone has their own passion and what they love, and that's what they love. And I
it's
think there
true.
should be a middle ground. What caused this sudden stoppage of what was going on that was really good?
Yeah,
That's the
I don't,
question.
I
That's the
really don't
question.
know what happened, but believe me, this whole week I gotta try and find out because something ain't really right. Like you
Listen,
said, 2 years and nothing happened, and all of a sudden, no, something happened that we ain't know yet. So I need to hear the full story first before I can really give a good, synopsis of the whole situation.
hey, money is always the driven. Money is always the drive. Somebody who contract and signed to build up that hash track, back Randall James hash track, is hearing about all these races and he mad that he ain't making no money from it, and he probably will call somebody in government. Hey, we need to shut this down. You know what I mean? Money is always the
That's
drive.
the beauty
Money is the root
bangla.
of all evil, right?
Money is always a drive. Somebody from the outside looking in is not benefiting from this. Oh, we got to stop this. That's all it
I
is.
get you. I hear you.
I hope
But
in
this
this.
this has this has really been this has been. I want to thank you guys for just giving me this opportunity to share with the public, the community, those of us that live abroad, because I'm pretty sure you guys got some pretty good followers that really love the podcast and what you guys are doing, and I must say thank you, and continue
You
to
leaving us? You sound like you leaving us,
no,
man.
I'm not
We done go
leaving
for
anything.
3 hours or no? Don't play with me.
I want to say that when I get off the phone, I'm gonna make some contacts so that we could get a couple more great female basketball players that came up during my time
Please,
that could
please do.
share their experiences with the podcast. And like you said, I mean, during our days, we didn't have any way of capturing the images or the photos and the games, but we're still here and we could share that information.
And if
Definitely,
I
you,
have a, I have a
definitely,
very
definitely.
important question somebody tell me to ask you.
Tell
And
me.
she's a pastor. And I hope you watching the podcast because I tell her you go behind. It's Pastor Mona Barnes, and she said she was really good. So did you ever play against her? And what was that rivalry? I want to know because she can still fill it up. Let me know that story.
Mona, Mona, Mona Barnes and I, we played in Central High School. We played for the Caribs. as freshmen in high school. She played the point guard position, and I played every position. But most of the time, I needed a facilitator, somebody to give me the ball, and she was always willing. No matter where, I mean, no matter where I saw her, she's like, "You ready? You ready? You ready?"
That's nice. That's nice. That's real nice.
So, but she's someone, I must say, God is good, because Mona and I we went to junior high school together. That's where I first met her, when I was in the 7th grade at Elena Christian. And through those years, we remained friends. We graduated from Central High School. We both went on to college. And during our work experiences, we had the opportunity, both of us, of being able to work for Governor Mapp during his administration. She as the director of Vitima, the Vitima director. And Mona has worn many hats. She's also a retired military personnel. And she's definitely into basketball. When the NCAA games are going on, we be on the phone. She's like, "Piedy, the game coming on, the game coming on." So
She love
we
that.
we still wrap tight whenever the game is on. We wrap tight. We're on the phone.
She came to the gym the other day challenging me to a shootout. I tell
Yeah.
her she ain't got enough offering money in that plate to challenge me.
is is she the pastor at the church by Strawberry?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep saying Mona. Why that
Yeah.
name
She
sound
got
so
crazy.
familiar?
Yeah, she
She
ain't
got
collected
crazy.
enough offering to challenge me.
She got
You
crazy.
remember? You remember when Frenchie Mom's passed?
Uh,
That's where Frenchie Mom's funeral
oh,
ceremony
the
Oh,
radio
was held.
the church. Yeah, Holy Ghost deliverance.
yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
before it all started, she pulled me to the side and said, I I'm a big fan of yours, and that's how I know who I are talking about and
She's
where
a
Yeah.
great,
where she's a
great,
pastor.
great woman. Like, I mean, with Piedy Williams and Mona Barnes, it's like that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because you from the time we met you, like Pang said, you're so soft spoken. Your voice is easy to the ears, but one of the things that you never put up with is disrespect. Like,
No.
how do you balance that? Because people will just listen to you now, think they can just come and push over you. I'm here to tell them, Piedy will jack you up, bass. Like, like, do you carry these dudes in the background and start punching them up where we don't see them
But
coming?
Tigger, you gotta remember that the woman used to be a correction officer, so she
That's what I'm
used
saying.
to
Like,
handling people who did disobedient, and she used to handling people like that.
so there's a side that she will really get to see it. I want to see that. That side.
Listen, I have. It's just been a technique that I learned over the many years, especially, and I guess I could give just working in the prison a lot of credit for sometimes your facial expressions. And I've been taught growing up, when you work in the prison, you drop your orders and leave it. You don't say, "Listen, you need to get a broom from there and go in your room." Listen, I tell you, get no, no, no. Drop your orders and leave it. Give them some time. They don't comply, then you give them your next set of orders. And I try to fashion that in many facets of my life, not just work. Where Craig would tell you, he said, most of the time, my mother just had to look at me, and that was it. She didn't have to
Yeah.
say much, you know. But I do believe in respect, and to get respect, you have to give it. And I've always said, no matter who you are or where you come from or what environment, it has never been my position to judge someone because of what they do or where they live or how they live their life. How you live your life is your life. But I do know at the end of the day, you deserve to be given the respect no matter what. And that's usually how I did it, TJ. And when I work with Coach Miller, uh, Derek is my boy, but sometimes I had to say, well, hey, no, 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 no,
Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you got to
yeah.
do that
Sometimes,
indeed.
Yeah.
sometimes I got to,
Who in the place?
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's all a part of life.
Yeah. We supposed to have him on the show. I talked to him, so we in
You spoke
future
to him?
episodes, yeah,
Okay.
we gonna get him on. So, you know, So that'd be
Well,
good.
whenever you invite somebody, you send them that invite, like I saw that you sent to me, because
Yeah.
I'd like to make sure I view the podcast when you have, any Coach Milan for sure.
Yeah. Usually, you have to go to Facebook to
Okay,
view it. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I have a question, right? And this is a
Mhm.
question for you being a parent. How was it like the feeling you had seeing Craig play for Temple? Seeing your son playing at a Division 1 school, and Temple is a historic Division 1 school. They have a lot of history in college
Yes.
basketball. How was that feeling like for you as a parent, knowing your upbringing, playing basketball, and your husband Shaky, and just seeing that your son make it to that level?
Well, it has been definitely a humbling experience, just being able to see recruits. And I must say, during Tegan and Pang's time, you guys were quite a few years ahead of Craig, and there was no recruitment that came here. Period. I don't recall a university coming here to recruit any kid or to scout a kid. But we've had the opportunity with Craig, and I must say, height plays a big role with whatever university is coming to look for a kid.
That's
Mm-hmm.
You know,
true. That's
you
true.
send the information out, and you go to, because we did travel a couple of times to Texas, where some coaches would call me and they'd say, like, listen, we heard about your son, he's 6 foot this, that we like him to come to play in a tournament. And these are people that you don't even know.
Mm.
So I've gotten several calls like that, and I told Craig, I said, well, I can't just accept the ticket and just send him on a plane, and I don't know where he's going. So I took the opportunity and I traveled a lot with him. And through that process, coaches begin to see kids, and the chatter starts. That's usually how it starts. But with those experiences, we were able to get at least 4 different universities to come to Prince Troy to recruit Craig. I
Wow.
think University of San Francisco came here to recruit Craig. We had Temple University that came to recruit Craig. We had the University of Boston came to recruit Craig. We had quite a few people that came. And then we had the opportunity of him being able to get, because, as a D1 recruit, you get 5 visits. And, we really took
Yeah.
advantage of those visits because they pay for the kid and the parent to come and they put you up. And with that process, being able to just actually see how this Division 1 process is, it was totally amazing, just
Mhm.
totally amazing. And to be able to have been a part of that, to just see how it goes, and to know that your child is that kid that everyone is talking about, it really was very enlightening. And just a great feeling as parents for us to be able to travel with him like that.
Yeah.
Stick Sticking to being a parent of a child athlete, like how was talk about some of the efforts or some of the works that you put in to the time that you took to make sure that Craig stay in line, make sure that he's at all his practice, making sure that he's at all his game, the talks in the car rides, some of the talks in the car ride back home, like just from a parent perspective, because I big on that. Like I don't miss none of my son's game. Only time I
Right.
miss things is practice because I have to work, but for the most part, I want to be there for everything.
Steal my
And
question,
I
Pam.
totally agree with you. I didn't miss a practice. One thing when it came to Craig, I didn't believe that someone should pick him up, take him to practice, and bring him back. I wanted to be there because a lot of times you want to be there with your kid. That way, if somebody say, Craig said such and such, I could say, no, 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 he didn't say that. He wouldn't say that because I'm there all the time. Why is he gonna just say this because I'm not here today? But one thing with Craig is Craig had that he had that inner drive also, and you guys have had the opportunity to plan a national team with him, and you see the type of kid that he is, and trust me, he was not very much different, when we coached him. I can honestly say there have been times when and you'll probably experience it too. Your child will never see you as their coach. You will be their father, you'll be their parent, whenever you're in the court. Because we have had days, Shaky and I would be in the gym with Craig, and Shaky would always take him and say, "Listen, you gotta shoot 500 shots today." Craig never had a problem with that because he didn't. If he took 500 shots, he probably shot the ball 600 times because he made the shot most of the time, And Craig didn't have a problem with that. And as you know, as parents growing up, you just want to be there. But there have been days where we would take Craig to the gym, and sometimes we're working on certain drills, and you see that lethargicness, or that you see that body language, like, "Mommy, you and Daddy just need to leave me alone." In his mind, he ain't like coach Piedy and coach Shiggy. That's Mommy and Daddy. So sometimes we will give Craig some advice, and Craig might rebut and say, "Well, why I should do it this way?" And then we'll have Coach Bow. A lot of times we used to call Bow or call other coaches, and they would give Craig the same example, and
He will listen
follow
to them.
through with it. Yes, because he don't want to hear Mommy and Daddy voice. He want to hear somebody else's voice. And you're gonna experience that, Tegan. If your little girl plays, you're gonna see that they would prefer sometimes to listen to somebody else because they see you as Mommy and Daddy. You in, and they're like, "Oh gosh, man, oh God, Mommy, oh God, give me a break." But that's when you got to know that if you have a nice assistant coach or someone else that's always in the gym with you, sometimes let somebody else tell them the same
You need
exact
another voice.
Yeah. Sometimes I just need to hear another voice. And sometimes we just sit down and say, "Well, okay, if you want to hear from somebody else, that's fine, as long as he get it done."
That's
but
right.
Craig was he was a good student. He was a student of the game, and you didn't have to do anything else other than say maybe run a little harder.
That was his weak link. That was his weak link. But he was a super intelligent player. Super intelligent. One of the smartest big guys I ever met.
We got a viewer question. Ask Piedy who was her favorite. Who was her basketball idol?
Who was my basketball idol?
Great question.
Yeah.
In 1968. Whoa.
The question was from Saeed Payne.
Saeed Payne. That's my nephew.
Yep.
Wait, I'm afraid to ask for the top 5 NBA players from 1968, Punk.
Let me say, oh gosh, Tegan, that's going way back. My idol have always been Michael Jordan. I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Okay.
I am a diehard Michael Jordan fan. Diehard. See him on your chest again. I'm a diehard Michael Jordan fan.
I agree. That's why he did the chest.
And I was trying to reflect on one of the great females. I mean, when I look at the younger, like the WNBA when that season and stuff came in, I mean, there's some great women players that played. Cynthia Cooper, she was just totally awesome.
That was a Michael Jordan at the WNBA.
Yeah,
that's true.
She was great. She was great.
Yeah, she was great. She was one that I really idolized, her game. Because she gave it her all. Cheryl Swoops was really good too. It was a lot of, and then when you look at Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, we got some. Listen, we got talent in the United States when it comes to our women. We're very, very talented, and the game continues to evolve into a great game. And then when you look at what's taking place now with the WNBA, I mean, outside of this COVID, they have finally been able to establish salaries. I mean, livable salaries.
Right.
That's true.
I was gonna ask you that.
I was looking at Facebook the other day, and they posted the highest paid WNBA female and one of the highest paid men. Steph Curry was one who's making $220 million over his season.
$40 million a year.
$40 million a year, and I mean the WNBA we are very far short when it comes to salaries. I really think they can do a little better with that.
A lot.
If you're paying a male player $40 million and the highest paid female still isn't even making $500,000.
The sad thing is the female athletes make more money in Russia and Turkish league and the Spanish league than in the WNBA. That should
And
never
in the
be.
WNBA,
Yeah.
it
And
should
that's
never
sad
be.
because the WNBA have way more talent than in
Oh,
Russia,
by far,
in
of
France.
course.
So it's sad what they're doing to the ladies in America.
It is, but I'm glad that they have decided to really incentivize them by giving them, medical packages and raising the salaries a little bit more. When you have your top athlete barely making $125,000
It's
a year,
crazy.
and the season is so short. I'm like, give me a break, man. They can do better
Yeah.
with that. I think
They
a
could
whole
they
lot
could
better.
they could definitely do better with
Yeah,
that. It was good to see, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. It was good to see Kobe Bryant really attending the games and really speaking
and
up
he
for
made
the
a
W.
difference. He made a difference with that. I was really just about to say that it was
Yeah.
through a lot of the discussions and his prodding, letting them know because he was bringing his daughter up too, to let them know you guys got to do a little better with these salaries. It's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
even
I
a
think
living wage, especially living in the states.
I think there was actually mad at Diana Taurasi because she refused to play because she was making way more money in Russia than in the WNBA, and I think they are mad with her. But I couldn't blame her. If Russia giving me close to $1 million a year, but you giving me 100,000, that's no competition. That's it's
And you're looking at
a no brainer.
you're looking it's a no-brainer, but the leagues that field these women teams, these are the same leagues that field the men teams. These are
Yeah.
billion-dollar organizations.
That's true.
Yes.
You know,
That's
you
true.
could pay them a little bit more
And
money than what
none more make more money than the NBA because they got all the money. So they were just being cheap.
exactly. Yep. I agree with that. But I don't know if they're gonna have anything of a league this year. I don't know.
They
We'll see because this COVID thing is just picking up all over again.
no the WNBA moving to they're moving down to Orlando too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're gonna be in
I didn't
Orlando
know. I
too.
didn't know. So they're gonna be starting to play pretty soon.
Yep, they're gonna be playing around the same time the men start back up. They should be
They're gonna
starting
be
up.
in that bubble situation just like the
I
men's.
don't know if they're gonna be in the same bubble, but I know they I think I even heard this today self that they should be down there as well. I think along with I want to say a soccer league or some type of
MLS,
golf.
yes, the MLS
Yeah,
league.
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Some
gonna be
another,
Okay.
and then in Chicago, they might take some non-playoff teams to play in a bubble in Chicago for the NBA.
Okay.
Let me ask you,
Well, I'm excited
Miss
about seeing
Williams.
something
Oh,
right now. 'Cause I'm going mad to see something.
let me ask you, since you touched so much on COVID, what are your stance on the whole situation? What's your outlook? Because I know you're a very spiritual person. Let me put on my little, I am the what they call a conspiracy theorist up here in the panel. I wanted to get your views because here's my thing. Before you answer, the issue with George Floyd happened, right? And
Yes.
we all saw the video. It was very sad. And weeks after that, that happened about in May. Every day there was protesting, millions and millions and millions of people all around the world, right, Pam?
Yes.
And you telling me the COVID cases never spiked one time with all that protest? But as soon as they open the bar and the beaches, COVID jump up. Something ain't right with this, man. You telling me all those people protest hand in hand for a month
But
straight
but if
and
you if
COVID
you
never
if you
spiked. But as soon as all these governors open up the county, all of a sudden COVID spike?
That's
That
a good
makes
point.
no sense.
but if you
Something ain't right.
following
So
the
my
news,
conspiracy hat is on a little spiritual. I don't believe this thing. I'm sorry.
you don't think the numbers are really correct
No, because
with
if it was ever a chance for COVID to really spike up, it should have been when all
but
those guys was
it is
protesting.
spiking
You saw how those
in
kids were
certain
protesting.
states
Some had masks, some didn't have
in the
masks.
news and media.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, but the news outlets are reporting that the virus, has really gotten a lot more difficult in 36 different states. I mean, the numbers are climbing all over. And I understand because we're looking at this shouting everybody in everybody's face and nobody have on a mask. And you would think the whole place is full of COVID, right?
It should have shoot up. It should have shoot up, in my opinion. But it didn't.
No, but we
When you were talking about social distances was
cannot
dead,
deny.
it was from May to June with all of these protests. So it had no more social distancing. So all of a sudden, what they are telling me is the bars and all these casinos is the real case for COVID. We need to stop drinking alcohol. Everybody, let me start drinking water, drink our little fruit juice, and then we just get rid of this thing.
So then what's spiking us here then? So what is spiking us here then?
You know, I really don't know. You that take over with me. I never thought we had social distancing. I see people all over the place like it's nothing.
I agree. Well, I'm trying to adhere to the CDC guidelines, and if they say stay home, I'm staying home.
I feel you. I don't really interfere with too many too, but I just saying. First of all, I don't trust CNN. I'm gonna tell you straight up because when CNN tell me that some people from Guatemala going to walk all the way from Guatemala to the U.S. border, I know that it was crap. We got people in St. Croix won't walk from Frederick to Christian State. They didn't know where you walk from Guatemala to no California. That was garbage. I didn't believe that one bit.
They got confused with it. They got confused with the countries. They got confused with the countries.
And they was walking in slippers, Mumba, with a baby.
All I know is you ask Piedy a question and you ain't letting Piedy answer her question.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. I said we're gonna give my thought first. Okay, Mr. Williams, go ahead.
We are trying to pay attention to this and listen to the signs, and I do agree with all the protesting. You know, everybody was in everybody's faces, and some cities where all of this was going on, the COVID level didn't go up. So I really don't know, but I'm going to adhere to what the guidelines say because I have an elderly mom that I take care of, and I can't afford to get sick. You know,
That's true.
The fact that we do have lime tree here, and it's not just lime tree. You know, like the governor says, and I've seen this for myself. You know, we have family members, people that fly in, and no one is adhering to the quarantine. You know, the quarantine. You know, like the other day I was at my mom's house, and some people are visiting. They just came off a plane, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" You know. And until we realize that we all are responsible for our own health, you know, people are going to continue to get sick. And those of us here in the Virgin Islands, we know we don't have the capacity. We don't have the capacity to have 50 people in the hospital with COVID. We don't.
Definitely not.
It's going to be grim. So I'm not trying to be one of those statistics or one of those numbers. So I'm going to adhere. I watch the podcast, and I can stay home and be entertained.
Look, Ms. Williams, I'm not trying to mess with no viewers who listen to me. I just see things that people don't see.
Hey.
Like this morning, here's the thing. This morning they said, okay, so we ain't serving no more liquor after 11 in the VI. You guys probably heard that, right?
Yes, I heard that. After 11
but
p.m.
Me ain't want to rat out nobody. I've been by this post office, by this bar up here. 7 o'clock, these dudes done drunk. So I ain't really know what's going on. I was going to walk, these dudes done drunk. The bar so dirty. I was like, Jesus Christ, that guy got COVID enough. Who is checking these people? These people.
This guy crazy.
Hey, but even with your you can't say your stuff is wild conspiracy because they're not that wild. Honestly, they're not that wild.
It's just a thing. That's all I say.
You can't refute that over 150,000 people have died.
No, I'm not. I ain't gonna refute it. I'm just saying just logically, you would have think with all of the George Floyd thing, man, 1 million people should have done get that virus in 1 week because the whole world was rioting.
That's true.
What happened?
But if you look at it, you can pay attention to the news. The numbers have elevated tremendously in almost 40 states. So the numbers have gone up. It has gone
And
up.
I agree. I don't think it's I don't think they're reporting it the way it should be reported, Tegan.
No, that's true.
I think some of the points that you are making is the reason why some of the spikes have happened. I just don't think they're reporting it
I don't
the
think
way
so.
it should be reported. I think they want to blame
Right.
it on the bars and the things
Yeah.
because
On the beach.
Yes.
they probably
But
go
a
ahead,
lot of
Mumba.
people, like they say, are asymptomatic, that people are carrying the virus and they have no symptoms, no signs, and we just don't know until there is a vaccine or something. We just gotta be careful as we can be.
I was gonna say that when they report a positive COVID test, the hospitals or wherever you want to label them as, they get more money when you got positive tests.
Exactly, because we need additional funding, for any COVID patient. I could imagine the cost of what it costs to just have to treat, one person. I mean, look at Sam the sailor who we took off of this barge that's still in St. Thomas in the hospital. Could you imagine what that bill gonna look like? And these are hundreds and thousands of people all over the United States.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
I'm hoping that we could get a handle of this, so there could be some semblance of getting back to normal life. But we don't know what normalcy is anymore.
No, sir.
The sports, everything is being done via Zoom. You on TV and everybody have a podcast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I look forward to us being able to get a resolve to what's going on, so that
Now,
we can.
COVID really have shocked the world. Even at St. Croix, even the same nasty man, them I used to see drink the little rum and go behind the bar and go and piss and come back one daps man. No, these man watching people up and down the sun.
Tegan, remember we was in Mexico. We was in Mexico this is just a little story, Piedy. We were in Mexico for one of our trip, and a little Mexican man being by one of our bus. We were either coming to the game or going. Oh no, we were leaving a game. So we chilling and we watched the little Mexican man stand up right there. This his same exact example that he talking about, going behind the little bush and piss and come back, and he comes straight to Tegan to get adopts to shake Tegan hand. And we didn't tell Tegan until after.
That's funny. That's funny.
You see, that's your friends for you. I could have got COVID. I could have had COVID.
That was so funny, my son. Because he been by the bus trying to talk to us for the longest. He just standing there, just in between, and then he disappeared to go and take a little piss and come back. And the first person he come back to was Tegan.
No COVID.
Yes, thank God it was before COVID.
I never washed my hands so much in my life. But I got a lot of nasty man I said going doing the same thing, and they want adopts people. All of a sudden now they watching you up and down. I'm like, okay, I'll keep adapt.
But I don't think people understand that. Like the fact that we out and about just like it's nothing is the reason why COVID is still looming, because nobody wants to stay home.
Yeah.
No, we're not. A lot of people are not washing hands and not just not doing the things that they should do. You go to the store, everybody got their mask under their nose. It's very difficult to breathe with that mask.
It is.
I try to get in. The minute I get out of the store, I be like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So
what? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that a lot of people, when they catch the COVID, they usually recover on their own at home.
Right.
They don't really do that much in the hospital. So,
well,
just
in the hospital, once they find out that you get COVID, they're sending you home because they don't want to risk. I think it's bullcrap, but they don't want to risk you getting other patients who don't have it infected, or the employees infected, and or things of that nature. But I think that's kind of heartlessness, and you just send you
Well, I
home.
guess unless you're really showing signs of distress and that you really can't breathe, but if you have mild symptoms, because some people are able to recover without having to be hospitalized, which is a good thing, but there's
Yeah.
some are really in bad shape. But and then if you look at the age group right now, the age group is like from 25 to 38. It's that young group, you know, which to me their bodies are able to fight this disease. If you
Right.
notice, a lot of the older people are really adhering to the guidelines. They're not trying to even get infected because
Yeah.
it's scary, you know?
Right now, the older generation are saying we're rough right now, sir. My name playing that.
Mm-hmm.
And my name
They,
business.
Yep.
that's good though.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Piedy, let me ask you, so we can transition COVID into basketball, because now we can see in the mainland with Mumbai and Pang is they're trying to get back some normalcy in terms of sports, but we are educated enough to know that their normalcy is all based on economics, not based on social society benefit. Here in the
Uh-huh.
Virgin Islands, it's a long we are a long way from seeing contact sports happening. What's your outlook in terms of how are we gonna get this thing right? Because we don't have a wrap on this COVID yet. We're not allowed to play basketball. We're not allowed to play soccer. Any contact sport. The only sport we can play right now is tennis and golf. So unless we go create a lot more Tiger Woods and a bunch of Venus Williams, we're gonna be in bad shape. What's your outlook on this?
Well, my outlook on what's going on right now is safety. We got to try until a vaccine, some type of preventative measures could be put in place to keep people safe. We have to abide by the only methods that's given to us right now. I know we're missing a lot out on a lot of things that we love and enjoy doing, but you know safety right now is the key. you know and this too is gonna pass. This too is gonna pass, and
It will. It
we'll be
will.
saying months from now, wow, you remember COVID-19 and you remember this. But I want to be here to be in that discussion. That means I made it, and I'm alive. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to hear, and it's hard, it's difficult. And when I think about the young people today, us being told at that age not to go outside, we that's like killing us. So
Yeah.
just imagine the
Sure.
younger generation and how this affects them. It's not easy. It's not easy at
Yeah,
all.
it's hard.
Piety, I
Hmm.
think it affects us more than the younger generation because they don't like outside. They live on their devices. So
Yeah,
I'm
they have
pretty
the
sure
devices.
they're catching up on all their video games and all the social media stuff that they do a lot of TikToking
Uh-huh.
and thing going on. So I don't think I think it affecting us more than it affecting them.
Affected. Got you. Yeah.
This is your opportunity. Maybe you could start some Zoom class for work what do you call workshops.
Maybe I can. It's something to think about. Yeah, it's something to think about.
So, Piety, this is the
Uh-huh.
question Tegan Pang. They usually ask the guests. I'll ask you.
Yes.
Your we have your five favorite. We got your five favorite women Virgin Island basketball players and WNBA basketball players. Your five favorite.
Okay.
And
I
because
say,
she's NBA as well, we'll take NBA too.
We'll do NBA too, yeah.
all right. I would say Eureka Joshua, Deidre Granville, Lisa Rima, Lavon Fredrickson, Felicia James. That's
Okay,
in the
let me
Virgin
stop
Islands.
you a second because you gotta know we's a little suckling because all
Uh-huh.
of we's a little young. So when you call these names, we know
That's
Felicia.
something.
Like the
Okay.
first two, we don't really know. So maybe you can
You
give like
know,
a little background who they be. That'd
okay,
be nice.
Deidre. Her real name is Deidre Granville, but I know as I call her Arifa. She lived in Kennedy with me. She was a point guard. She went to Laurenburg Institute. She stayed there for about a year. Really good, really good. But after she finished with high school, she didn't pursue, her career any further. Rita Joshua, she did attend college. She played college basketball. Uh, During her years of college. We got Laverne Fredrickson. She didn't play college basketball. I think Felicia James played college basketball. But those most people didn't pursue, at least two out of the five didn't, really pursue that career when they got to college. So those are my five
Hmm.
for the Virgin Islands.
You are called Mona Banks?
Well, Mona, yes, Mona would be five. She would
Oh,
be the
okay.
fifth. Lavon, Rita, yeah, she would be the fifth. To include myself, six. Yeah. Mona Barnes also. Yes, she was a
I
heck
know
of a
you'll
boy.
get a call after this interview.
You want me to call her? She might be watching,
She
I'm gonna
is.
call her and tell her to chime in. Okay, WNBA. I like Diana Taurasi because she leaves it all on the court. She plays with her. She has a big
Definitely.
heart. Uh, Maya Moore,
Yeah.
Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Thomas. I think that big girl Fowles. Can't remember her first name. Sylvia
You said
Fowles.
Yeah,
you
Sylvia
said Cyn-
Faust. She's a beast.
you said Cynthia Thomas. Did you mean Cynthia Cooper or Tina
Cynthia
Cooper.
Thomas?
Cynthia
Yeah,
Okay.
Cooper.
well, Tina Thomas was a heavy hitter too. I could put her
Okay.
in there also. Tina Thomas, Cynthia Cooper,
I love your list. All offensive too.
Diana Taurasi. Yeah,
Except for Cheryl Swoop. Cheryl Swoop is defense.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
She was a gazelle, my son. She steal a ball and she
yeah.
She's
She was
climb to
gone.
the court, my son. Okay, now for the NBA, well, Michael Jordan will stay on top of my list. Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tim Duncan. Well, I got to put Tim Duncan number one. VI Hall of Famer,
Hey,
always.
Kobe Bryant.
Always.
The list can go on and on and on and on. When
yeah,
it
for
Why
comes,
do you
NBA,
put Charles Barkley?
huh?
What do you like about Charles Barkley game? Why you put him
Barkley.
in?
Oh my goodness, he was a great defender, and he was a hell of an offensive player also. And he played with his whole heart. These are players that play; they leave everything on the floor when the game is over. And he was one of those players.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, he was rude, but hey,
Very rude.
his game made up for that.
you like the edge. You like
Yeah, I
that.
like the edge. I like the edge.
Love it.
you,
Love
you
it.
you can't go wrong with players like Charles Barkley. You can't go wrong with players in that generation.
Yeah.
Where it was more about the love of the game and the competitiveness versus today's players. It's more about their brand. They all about
Exactly.
building a brand, and they don't
Exactly.
really put it out all on the floor. Like it's just a few players that just really lay it out all on the floor,
That's true.
and that's the difference between now and then.
And then exactly. Right now, it's more about that dollar. It's more about the money. Yep.
What
That's
do you
true.
think about the hand checking and stuff like that? Because our game was so much more physical compared to now. Do you think they should revert back to that type of physicality? Do you like the style of game now where nobody can touch no one? It's basically a track meet.
In the NBA.
In
Yeah.
both NBA and WNBA,
Okay.
they taking out all the physicality out of the game.
Well, the game is a physical game. I wouldn't like to see that ever change. You know, I wouldn't. To me, that's what makes the sport what it is. Being able to bang and to go hard, and you guys know that.
Mm. But now,
So
just
yeah.
watching the game, I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I fall asleep and then wake up and start watching the game third quarter on. I can't watch a whole game because it just looks like nobody guarding no one, nobody
No,
touching
yeah,
no one.
nobody plays defense
It
exactly.
just looks like people just running back and forth. But then
And
fourth
it's
quarter, you
so
see a different style. Like everybody start hitting a little bit more because it's winning time. I would like to see more of that all throughout the game, not just in the fourth quarter.
Right. And you said sometimes you fall asleep. All the time I fall asleep.
Piedy,
One because of old age, but two, the game just is not as exciting as it used to be.
As it
Yeah.
used to be, exactly. Because
Piedy, your
everybody, it has become an individual game now. It's all
Exactly.
about whoever gets
Eh,
the ball. It's all about me. You
Mhm.
know?
Piedy, your 5 favorite VI basketball players, male basketball
Male,
players. Yeah.
Eric. I would say Tegan and Pang definitely are in that equation.
You gotta
Uh,
exclude us. Nobody was supposed to
oh,
say
you
that.
guys are included. All right.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, Tegan.
Yeah, I'll say Coffee. I'll say Bush. I'll say, oh my goodness, it's so many. It's so many.
Yeah.
Say they
So
coffee
many.
boat. You still got 3 more.
I got Coffee. I got Bush. I got Dean Haywood. I got Zoro Swanson. I got Shaky Williams, Craig Jr. I got I ain't being biased. I got get Jack the Jacket.
You can't be back. I was saying you
No, no,
better push
no.
it there. Meanwhile, to leave Bellevue tonight and have
When I
to
look
rest
back,
somebody.
you say, you call my name?
does he watch? Does he is he on Facebook? Does he watch the show?
No, Shaky, he's not a Facebook at all. He's not a Facebooker. No.
I love the list. Good. That's a good list.
Very good list.
In
So
terms of
you
other than sorry, in terms of other than me and Pang, because we know you have a good relationship with us, and we have a great relationship with you. Who else did you really admire? You talk about Kofi, Zoro. Who took your imagination? Like, man, this guy, if he had the right opportunity, he should have been in the NBA. You had Tyrone, other than Timmy.
Oh yeah, we Tyrone. I was having a conversation about him the other day. I was speaking about a boy, Kevin King, Bola.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Bola, them guys had game, boy. Um,
We
Dennis
need to
Brown
get him on, man. We
way
got to
back in
get Bola on.
Yeah, you gotta get Bola and Dennis Bro. I mean, them guys from Grove. I mean, we had great athletes. You know, Raymond Blatter. We had a lot of good athletes. A lot. Way before you guys' time. You know, way before your time.
And that's the purpose of Mumba starting this show, because we always hear the stories of even some of these names that you calling. Is some of the names that we want to reach out to and get them on the show. So just like people like you and some of the older legends that know about these players and saw them play, we have never seen them play, and it would be like kids in a candy store just listening to
Yeah,
some of their stories. And
Yeah, I know.
it was
I know.
beautiful.
I'm gonna try to do some networking so we could get some of them older guys on the podcast.
I've been getting a lot of feedback from Dennis Bro. I even saw him the other day at El Sol. I forgot to tell you about the show, but
Yeah.
man, he was a two-sport athlete. We
Oh
definitely
yeah.
need to get him on.
He was good. He was great at both of them.
so
He
I
was
just see sometimes I just see a Dennis Bro on Facebook. Is that him or his son?
That's him. That's him.
Okay. Okay.
He got a son that has his name also, but they totally distinctively look different. I think the son look more resemble his mom more. You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Dennis Bro, hell of an athlete boy.
That's true.
It's
I
crazy.
caught I caught him in his latter career, like playing in my league. He was, I think he was maybe a little heavier. He still used to do some damage,
Yeah,
but he probably wasn't as mobile as he used to be.
as he was. Yeah, yeah.
Because I used to hear the
He
stories.
started to hurt around that time. Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy because Mumba know they say he was better in baseball. So, God, that's amazing.
He
Yeah.
was good in both sports. I can't even say which one he was better at. I really enjoyed watching him play basketball. He was good. But people tell me about, yeah, I've seen him play baseball, but I love basketball more. But he's really a great two sport athlete. And very seldom that you find someone that could play both sports that well. and he really was one of those athletes.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Any questions? Anybody?
I
Any
got millions.
viewers? Go
You can
ahead,
go.
Tegan. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask because, like you say, you've been watching all of us, and when you actually was in the stands, because you're a sports fanatic, you can give the viewers no identity to players that they have no idea of. When you watch a person like Tim Duncan going through his struggles the way he is now, not just being one of Virgin Islands' very best, but one of the world, the entire world. He's in the top 5, in my opinion, all-time players in the world. How did you, when you saw him like a raw vegetable compared to now where he is right now? How was your viewpoint? How, what was your thought process, and what you think of him now?
I can recall Timmy used to go to the Central High School basketball camp when Lockett used to run the camp. I have a couple of photos with Timmy in camp too. I never in my life would have ever believed that he could develop into the player that he has, developed in the Hall of Famer that he is today. I could recall during some of the men leagues. I recall Tyrone Alec doing a game. Tyrone come down and he slammed a dunk and Timmy head. And I was like, wow. To me, Tyrone was the best thing since sliced bread. And he played during the time that Timmy played in these summer leagues also. Timmy was very tall, he was very finesse, wasn't aggressive. I mean, very very little about him has changed. Other than the fact that he honed the skills that he has, and he has now become one of the best top 5, power forwards in the world. But growing up, I never would have ever thought that Timmy could accomplish what he has, because you just didn't see it growing up. You didn't see it. He was tall, and back in them days when you were tall, and I used to tell Craig that too. Tall people always used to crouch because they felt so odd just being bigger than everybody else.
For
I would
everybody
always
else.
tell Craig the same thing: straighten up your back, boy. It's an honor, a pleasure to be big. And it isn't until you start to grow into that body and you say, "Wow, this is really nice," that you want to stand tall. But I would have never thought that Tim Duncan would be the Hall of Famer that he is today, and I'm very proud of him.
Right.
Wow.
As much battle that he had with Tyrone
Yeah,
in
Tyrone and Bula and them guys. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, if we only had video footage, you guys would be like, "Wow!"
yeah.
It was
It was
amazing.
good to see Tyrone and Timmy be good friends, because when I was in Central Summer Camp, they they used to be counselors. They
Yes.
were they was the first year I went to the camp, they were in the camp as well. And then
Uh-huh.
the second year I went to the camp, they became counselors, the both of them. And
Mhm.
I could remember car rides home with Timmy
Uh-huh.
and and my older brother Cheese, because we
Cheese,
were
yeah.
on, yeah, we were on the way to where Timmy lived. So Timmy used to
Yes.
drop us home, and I could
Yes.
just, like you say, he was always humble, quiet.
I was
You,
quiet. You
I,
never knew he was there because he didn't speak much. He came on the court, and I never forget whenever he used to run down the court, his head always used to go from side to
yes.
side, from side to side. He used to run like that. Yeah,
You
those
know,
were the
Timmy
days.
Timmy definitely take his bumps and bruises coming up, criticism and things like
Mhm.
that. People used to really take it, make it their duty to go hard at Timmy, because people
Yes,
used to
just because he
always,
was big.
yes.
Just because he was big.
But one thing, any league that he went in, he always would win black shot. He always would win rebound. So you could see that, like, for people like us who watch him when he was in high school, you definitely see the progress, because he took off when he went to college. It was like a
Yeah, he did.
different Timmy when
Yeah.
Yes,
he
yes.
went to college from the very first year. And it
Mhm.
was just so good, regardless of if you hate him in the VI or whatever. You had nothing but to like this man once he went to Wake Forest, because to see he in person, to know where he come from, to know that you saw this person, you might have stand shoulder to shoulder with him. to see him on TV was like one of the biggest thing in St. Croix at the time, sir.
And Big Vital calling his game. Oh, the man from the islands. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, DPB used to go crazy, my son.
I could even remember Timmy in Grove League. Timmy was the man in Grove League, and he used to play for Grove. The man recruited to come in. So I think that helped you a little bit because now he on a team, not a private school team or playing with the private school buddies. He on a team with thugs and people who have battled. So now he had a little battery in his back, and Timmy was dominating the Grove League. Them man, I want to say Grove win championship that year when Timmy played with them. I think it was them and us in championship game, and I think they beat us. I want to say they beat us out, but I won a few leagues in Grove, so it could have been that's the one we win. I just can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, Timmy was a force, man, and it's real good. Even when he couldn't play, he was still a force, you know. So I'm glad he honed his skills and take it to where he take it because he's definitely in my top 5.
For us, huh? Punk, if we can get Timmy to see if we can squeeze some jokes out of he, because you know I get to share the locker room where when we played the game over in St. Thomas when we were honoring him because he came back during the hurricane and he did such a wonderful job, brought a lot of stuff to the Virgin Islands after the hurricane, post-hurricane, Irma and Maria.
Yeah.
And, like you said, he was just so humble in the locker room.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm a
like
prankster, so I done gone in the locker room and you ain't want to see some of the younger kids. They take a picture of TV behind the wall. Beep! And beep! They want to go and ask me for a video. So I just went up to TV and just hug him like, hey, Tim, man, these man need a picture of some. So I come, let me take some picture with Tim. And Tim just started freaking out.
He did what?
He just started freaking out laughing. He was like, yeah, man, you guys can come. I was so frightened to take a picture with a man. And
But
it will be nice if we can interview him so people can see a lighter side of him. I think one of the things that I get to feel from him, if once he get an idea who you are, he open up a little bit more. But once you don't know where you're coming from, he's a little bit more in his shell. And it will be nice to see him come out here and just crack a couple jokes, let people know. That's the man.
And this will be a good platform for him because we're not coming in with written questions. We're not coming in. We just want him to shoot the breeze, tell us some of his, stories and just like we chilling after a basketball game, and just sitting around talking or a practice or something. That's why I love this platform because we're not coming in with to drill you with questions we're trying to make the show about the person that we're interviewing, and the forum is all for you to just talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. I think it would be great for him to speak about his psychological progress.
And I'm going to lose y'all in a minute.
Oh.
Battery dying?
Your battery dying?
Yes.
All right. I have this. I want to ask you this question, Piedy. It's something we talked about briefly, with some guests about having a VI Sports Hall of Fame. How important that is to you?
Well, it's very important, and it allows us to go back in time and to recreate the images and the people that played the sport, and whether we want to do a mural or some kind of way of identifying them, the years that they played, so that our kids, our grandchildren, great grandkids can know that these people really existed. We have had some really great people that came through the Virgin Islands and represented, and there is no memorial, there is nowhere to go where you can say, well, okay, I've heard this name before, but I never knew who this person was, and you get to see a picture of them, and that way, pictures and images, it brings stories to life. For those of us that, were too young to know these athletes that came from the Virgin Islands. So I do it's something that, maybe one day Tegan could pick that up. I think that's a project for Tegan. And
been in the work with so many
in the Hall of
people.
Fame.
I mean, I know Uzi Richards was on it. I even heard Javon James is on it. And there's so many people trying to take up the mantle, but we ain't really getting to see nothing being done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it takes someone to pick it up and run with it and let that be their soul. That's like your baby. You know, if everybody got pick up the baby, she gonna get left behind. So one person gotta grab the mantle and run with it. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to do, but that's the only way it's gonna get done.
How much battery life you at, Piedy?
I have 10%.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, man, we got an hour left.
Huh? So I don't want to when if you don't see me
right,
again,
right,
you went dead.
right. No, I want you to end on a good note. So, Tegan, you got any more question?
Well, I just wanted to know now that we really get a good understanding. You're 76, 78, 79, 70 million points you have scored. You still love the game. What's your future outlook? You still got a lot of life left. I know you're up there in age, but you still look like 18. What's next for Piedy
Well,
Williams?
what's next for me right now is I do have a granddaughter. Her name is Sage. It's Craig's daughter, and the last time she went to the doctor, they say for her age and her percentile, she's on the tall spectrum. So
Wow.
that's good to hear because her mom is tall, her dad is tall, her grandparents are tall. So I believe Sage would be maybe six something, but she's only 3, so she has a ways to go. But when it comes to the sport of basketball, we can't allow it to die because we have the athletes, we have talent, and we have passionate people that care for the game. So you know, at the end of the day, I know it's hard, Tegan. I look at you all the time. Your doors are always open. You invite kids to come. You work on their skills. I mean, you've taught these young players skills and drills that they didn't even know existed or don't even know that this is really a part of how you play the game.
Yeah.
And outside of you going as far as you do to teach these skills, most of the time we just, for us here, it's like get a ball, run, shoot. That's not basketball. There's more to the game than run and shoot, you know. And it's people like you, I'm up on that higher end right now, and we can't let it die. So someone has to keep the torch burning, and I do see that you're doing it here,
You got,
Tegan.
you got me blushing. Not too much.
We gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going.
Well said,
Good.
Piedy. Well said. You got blushing. He bring his face up in the camera and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at him
Look, man, I have
all the
respect
time.
for this lady. You guys don't even know. I mean, words can't describe it. So, when you get that kind of respect from someone who you look up to, it's just a different type of respect. A lot of people will respect you. Yeah, man, good job, thing. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody who really compliments you that you really look up to, it means a lot. And it work both ways. When people you look up to kind of crush you and tell you, I kind of crap about my lead, it hot too. So it goes both ways.
Yeah. Take the good with the bad. Take the good with
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
bad.
but you gotta stay focused and keep your dream alive. Because people would try to throw you off your track and your trail, but when you love something, you stick with it. Stick with it. You
so,
guys, you got young ones growing up, and you got to keep the torch burning for your daughter.
right.
She's probably gonna be like, Dad.
She want to play right now, but I went and support her playing softball. She likes softball. I mean, her mom is a softball player, so I'd be there
Well,
clapping.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I
Softball
gotta
is a
be
good
there.
sport.
Like I say, I don't miss nothing. I gotta be there.
You
And I
can't
want the
miss
same
it.
energy. I want the same energy as
the
basketball for
same
softball.
energy.
I want the same
Right.
energy.
Tegan, my son played football. Every practice, every game, never miss it. Never, not
Never
one,
miss it. I never
not
missed
one,
a day of practice
not
either.
one. And
When
I
I
ain't
used to
planning on
work for the
missing none
prison,
either.
I used to go to work late. When Craig got a game, I come in late. I ain't missing the game. I ain't missing the practice. I was there. And I think as parents, that's the role that we're supposed to play. They need to see
Right.
that, that their parents are there, because it's good when you can look up and say, well, my father did it, my mother did it, my grandmother did it. You look up in the stands, there's never nobody. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, give
Yeah.
you a sense of comfort, make you relax a
Yeah.
little more,
And
and
that's
so
what parenting is all about. Support. We gotta support our kids.
That's
we
right.
do. So you mentioned a few names earlier. Some of your peers. Who else would you like to see on this platform being interviewed?
Well, I'd like to see Lisa Reimer be interviewed, not just because she is a coach for the national team, but she also was given a Division 1 scholarship to attend the University, I think, of Nevada. So she too is a recipient of a full ride at a major university. So I'd love to see Lisa on. She has a lot that she can share from her perspective, because we live in different islands, and it's good to see a different perspective from someone else on another island. And I'm pretty sure, but Mumba, I'm going to, when I get off, I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna get some contact information for some of other players that played with me. This girl, her name was Janine Jean Pierre. She was, I would say, after Rita Joshua, she was the third best player that we had in the Virgin Islands. And she too also played college basketball on a scholarship. So she's someone that I definitely, would refer to the program. So just give me a little while to tweak my brain a little bit, and I could get some other females on the podcast.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good. We have a lot of people to get on, so you have a lot of time. You have time.
Yes.
So you have time. We
And
have
I
a lot of
want to
work.
say before my phone turn off, I really want to thank you, Mumba, Tegan, and I want to thank you guys for just inviting me to be here. It means a lot, and it really made me feel really good to know that someone wanted me to be a part of their podcast, just to share and to disseminate information, and enlightenment of the sport of basketball, the sport that we all love so dearly. We eat, sleep, and drink this thing.
Right.
I'm hooked. It's
Um,
You
like a
know.
drug.
You
I'm
know.
on that drug.
She
got
got.
She got it
Hey,
off. She got it
I
off.
was going. I was going to ask her. That's what I was trying to get she to say her little last. Oh, there she go.
Push you back.
Can't hear you.
Yeah. You got 1 minute left.
No.
No.
They got a little. There should be a little mic on the bottom of your screen. See if it got line slash to it.
No. I think she might have to go out or come back in.
Oh, okay. You might have to. You might have to go out and come back in. Oh, hit that little. Hit that little leave. It have a little
Leave.
leave option at the bottom of your screen, and then you go back to the text that Mumba send you. Hit leave. Yeah, hit leave down at the bottom, and then go back to the text that Mumba send you. What I was going to ask Ayo now that when I find out that she was her battery was dying, that for we to stay on and just talk a little more, because we still at only like 2 hours, but like I've been thinking about this lately, and I just be coming up with like ideas. So I want one day I want us to get together and really like sit down and talk, and just to enhance things more and see where we could take this time, things that we could add to the show.
Yeah. Hey, wait, Pang, hold that, because Piedy coming back on. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, make sure you hold that, because I like what you're talking about.
Okay. What do you want me to do now?
No,
we're good.
I was gonna say something about your interview. You're first of all, you're the first female that we had on the show, and everybody was, anytime we asked about a female, your name was the first to come up.
Oh boy.
From
Yeah.
from young and old, your name was the first to come up. And
Yeah.
I will say, we've had some great interview, but what I love about this interview is, although you're the first female, like listening to you, it was listening to a fellow basketball player. I didn't see you as a female.
Okay.
I saw you as a
I don't see myself as a female leader. I played.
I just saw you as a basketball player. Whether you were playing against girls or boys, it just felt good listening to you. It just felt like
Yeah.
we were just shooting a breeze with one of the fellas, and I love that about your interview, and you didn't leave none to question.
That's good. I'm glad I did. And thank you. I really appreciate this, and maybe I'll be back.
Oh, definitely.
More than welcome.
We definitely anytime, even some of the names that you mentioned, if you want to be like a guest host, you want to be on
Okay.
and I could bounce stories off of each other.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to do that. And Piedy, we love you. We respect your career. We respect that everything that you are doing on the island back then to now, and love to see you do more. And anything that you need us to be a part of, we will always be welcome you with open arms. I'll always be looking forward to help out. And I speak for myself. I know I speak for Mumba, Tegan. I know they feel the same way. And like Mumba said, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. Just give us a shout, and it doesn't even have to be one of the females. You could come on at any time.
Okay, great. And I do
When-
appreciate it, and thank you for the love. And
When
you
Shaky
guys
coming
take
on?
care.
When Shaky coming on, you could come on too.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
But thank you, man, and I'll stay
Yeah.
tuned. I like the podcast, and I'll keep up with you guys. And take care, and thank you for the invite.
Anytime.
No problem.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We definitely
Enjoy the rest of
appreciate
your
it.
evening. Bye.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Yeah, man,
Well,
that was good, man. Awesome.
Yeah, that was real good. That was real good.
Amazing.
I like
great episode.
Piedy started off good for us. She started her. We didn't ask no question in the beginning.
Yeah.
She started from day one, and she just took it like she was born to do that.
Yeah, she was ready. I'm still caught up with the 76 points, 77 points.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's a lot of points.
Yeah,
Make it who you playing against.
exactly. I
a
was
lot
just
of
about to say that. It don't matter who you're playing against. 70-something points is a lot of points.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of points.
That's
Ain't
a
no
lot of-
easy feat. I know I've never even come close to that. So
And it won one game. It was, she said, 76, 75, 77, 78.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was good, she like you said, the way how she started off and stuff like that. And it just kind of, we listen and stuff like that. They kind of create more questions that we didn't have and to ask and stuff like that. So it was amazing. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. All the episodes has been amazing. I kind of reflect back on each individual, and it's just amazing, the stories and where they've been through and the opportunities and some of the ways they get to where they was and stuff. It's just been amazing just to hear everyone's story.
That's fact.
So-
That's fact.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And they should have light the side, man. It really should have light the side that people don't really get opportunity to see. And now you're starting to see everybody giving a different perspective of what they had to go through to be where they are. You realize, like, dude, nothing was really given to nobody. Everybody had to earn what they had. And that's the beauty about it.
Yeah. And you know what's the beauty about it too is the fact that like how much of a big fan she was of both of you guys. And that's why having this show is so important and it's so good, because you don't realize how much people you inspire and how much people look up to you just being a fan and stuff like that. People don't realize how powerful sports is. Sometimes people might be having a bad day and they come to a Man League game and see you guys play and you guys made their evening and stuff like that. So it's for me, it's just amazing to see them come on and how much you guys inspire them. It makes me happy to see that. So I love it.
Basketball was definitely an outlet for us. None of us had an easy upbringing. No matter what part. Mumbai, you live west. I live somewhat west. I live in Grove. Tegan, you live east and west. It just, none of us had a easy upbringing, and it just, everybody got a similar stories. St. Croix is a small island. St. Thomas a small island. Everybody got St. John. everybody got a similar stories, the same type of. We had friends that, probably wasn't doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and we had to balance that, being a part of that life, and still, or picking up the
Still,
ball and playing, and so we all had our challenges, or just maintaining a balance of being cool with your non-basketball people and your basketball people,
yeah, yeah.
and getting to the level of where, okay, this could be a future for me. And like
Telling
Piedy said, like, no, when we were playing, nobody coming and recruiting. I have never had anybody approach me about playing basketball someplace. Never wanted to
Wow,
sit down
that's
with, talk
crazy.
to my mother or nothing like that. Yeah, and it just, we need to get St. Croix, Virgin Island basketball where
on the level there. Yeah,
that becomes the norm. Every year we look forward to somebody coming down, some school coming down to watch one of our kids playing, and our VI kids playing, and want interested in them coming to their school, and that's the type of level I want to see the Virgin Islands in.
facts.
That's true.
I
That's
second
true.
that. I echo that. What were some of the ideas you wanted to talk about, P, in terms
Um,
of making the show better?
you remember I was asking you about like your your YouTube channel. I know people could go out there and view the interviews on YouTube now. I wanted to start like that's I was asking you about your logo, because I wanted to start promoting your channel, so we could get to a point where, because if we could get up our subscribers on a YouTube channel, I think it would put you to the level where we could do our show on YouTube, and it will make it more open to everybody, because a lot of people don't have Facebook,
Yeah.
So that's what I was asking about the logo, because I want us to start promoting your YouTube channel, so we could start upping the subscribers and get to a point where we could do the show live on YouTube. So anything to enhance the show, to get more people to view. Maybe Sunday, I was thinking about maybe doing the interviews on Sundays, maybe a little bit earlier. What do you think about that?
Like what time? What time earlier? Wait. Before I get to that question, with the logo, it should be done sometime this week. Sometime this week. So hopefully we get that. And if you want, I mean, we could start promoting the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel. I rather you say our YouTube channel. Don't say yours. Say ours. It's
All right.
ours, because I'm gonna give you guys the information so you guys have access the YouTube channels and do whatever you guys want and stuff like that. So if you guys want, if it's something else you guys doing that you guys want to put on, you guys could do it, because the YouTube channel is named VI Legends. So it's VI Legends, and it's for all of us and stuff like that. So that's with the YouTube channel. No, the show for Sundays. What time you thinking about? You thinking about?
Well, when we first started, you start off like 4:00.
4:00.
So I would say between 2 and 4. The reason why I say that,
Hello.
like the last couple Sundays we did 7, and a lot of us
Hello?
got to wake up to go walk in the morning. So I think not that I think more people will be available to view. I don't know, but we could try it out and see. I think people would be more prone to stay on. A lot of people probably at that time of the night, I think a lot of people check in and check out, because they probably got start getting ready for work in the morning, and whatever the case may be. I think Sunday is more like a relaxed day. A lot of people are more stable, and I think in the afternoon might be like more of a good time to do the show. But we could ask opinions. We could, like if some people want, even though anybody that watching, what time I think would be a good time for the show. Post all your opinions, and we could try doing different times. And
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Sunday we could try. If we want. We could go back to 4. We could try 3:00. and see. No, with the Sunday show, and plus the guests, whoever time they can make it too.
Right.
You know what? So what's good for them? I mean, I open to it. You know, maybe maybe it'll change. From Sunday to Sunday. But I like your idea on what you're talking about. Like your sister said, 4 o'clock. I mean, we could go back to the 4 o'clock and see if that
Yeah.
works, or 3 o'clock, 3:30.
You and I talked about this before. I think Tegan was on the show too. But we could even like when the viewers have their question, they could inbox you their number, and you could send a link to them, just to, instead of reading the question, they could come on and ask the question themselves.
Yeah,
You mute Tegan, you mute.
Oh shit! Let me unmute him. Oh. My bad, Tegan. I mute you because you on the phone.
It's all good. It's all good.
I was just
echoing. Yeah, that's a great idea. They could ask that question. That's awesome.
Yeah, if they want to come on, that's the thing.
Right,
I'm open to it. I like that idea. I love it. So if they want to come on, they're more than welcome. So I guess I'll put it in the banner when we have the live show. I'll write it up on the banner and I'll post it on the live show. Like anybody want to ask live questions and video or whatever, how I write it, they're more than welcome and stuff. So,
I'll be scared.
And I'll put it in the announcement too. When we announce the next person, I'll put it in the announcement as well.
All right.
Yeah. Like you said, the viewers don't be scared.
Here's one of my ideas then. So now that we're going into the legends, every once in a while we can pop in some of the upcoming stars then.
Right.
To go, what they're about, what's their future goal, advice we can give them, advice Tyrone Alec and people on the podcast who watching can give to them when they go into college. Because we do have a couple guys from here and St. Croix definitely who has an opportunity to go and play Division 1. So it'd be nice to get some of them guys on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good one.
I'm welcome to any ideas, man. You guys know this is us. This is three of us.
Including both of your sons.
No, my son ain't coming out of your camera. Not no.
My son is a young.
I need to know what's going on with he.
Hey, my son is a young Tim Duncan. He is timid. But
that's my son too, just like your son.
If I ask him, he'll come. If at anytime, he'll come. But he is very. When I tell her this man's voice is deeper than mine's already, like it just. But he still he don't look 14. That's the main thing. You just always gotta remember this man is still 14 years old. Don't let his size fool you. He's still 14 years old.
The last time we were doing it, he was behind you.
Yeah.
He was a big.
But who we got Sunday, Mumba?
We have Sunil Charles. Sunil, appreciate the compliment. You appreciate the compliment. Sandra here would say that we appreciate the compliment.
Yeah,
everybody else too. Yeah, Sunil. We have Sunil Sunday, and then I'm gonna talk to Sherry. I'm gonna try to get Sherry Simmons on and Tuesday coming up. So
we could also do some show with some of the fans that we remember coming up to give some of the fans' perspective of VI basketball. Like Sandra would be a good person to interview.
Yeah, that would be.
I agree. I'm open. Like I was saying, I'm open to all ideas, suggestions and stuff like that, even with the viewers them watching. Because
Sunil Mom was a very big guy than son.
Yeah. Because
I didn't know that, so that would be a good story.
Because at the end of the day, this is it's for the people in the VI. At the end of the day, all of this is for them. You know what I'm saying? All of this is for them and the future and, their family and stuff like that. So I'm open to any ideas and stuff like that. We make it work and everything, Pang and Tegan. So, we make that work definitely.
You have anybody that'll print shirts once your logo is up? Once the logo is up and running?
Okay, yeah. So now with the logo.
Let me get the Dingo. Let Dingo hook you up with that 340.
The logo is not mine. It's somebody else's logo. I have to report to that person, and whatever they want to do with it, the person is open to having other people print it, and so they walk with them and stuff like that. But Dingo, Nato, Apollo Legion, anybody, you know, who they could do it. That's fine. Remember, Tegan, I told you this. Any money, any sponsorship, anything that comes with the show is going towards Tegan Foundation. As far as the is it Choice Basketball? Let me make sure I get this straight. Huh?
Choices Basketball.
Choices Basketball, right? So it's going towards that. And like you said, we would like to do a scholarship for kids and stuff like that. You know, boys and girls, whole basketball camps, all kind of stuff. So any money or anything, benefits that come along with the show, we point it towards the VI athletes and the VI sports, you know. Both same.
The one thing is to really get that scholarship for the top high school boys and girls. So because all of we been in college, you guys know how tough it is. That first year, you don't even have a little change in your pocket. Man, that will help them guys out so good because we've been through it, my son.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're broke. We're looking for 4 quarters to go to Crystal to get 4 of them hot chicken sandwich, my son. Jesus Christ.
Well, you know, I never had to worry about all of that thing because everything was in walking distance for me at my school, right in the middle of the hood. So, you know, you got somebody right on the corner selling barbecue chicken and food and everything for me. So everything right there. Had Popeyes down the street, like right next to our girls' dorm. Like it was just everything was at my fingertips.
Yeah. Rena, we appreciate the support, Rena. We appreciate the support. Juba, appreciate it. Thank you. But Jelani, big up.
And we need to start looking out for these young men and women. Once they go into college, let them know we support them. And that's why I say it would be good to bring them on the show too, so we can hear from them and see what's their future goals and let them know how proud we are of them and how they're representing us. That can give them a boost. Because sometimes we they all alone, when you think like you want to quit, that thing might just hit them in their mind. You know what? Pang and Tegan and Mumba there. I can't give up, my son. Them man pushing me, my son. That might give them a push.
Yeah, you're right about that. Definitely. Hey, it's so much people we have to get. It's crazy.
I remember that list that you show. Didn't you post a list on the page?
Yeah, I post a list. That's just some people that I actually talk to and confirm. But it's so much more people, you know. And we haven't got it.
I want to give me no life, man. 3 show a week. Okay, let's do it.
Hey, we haven't even break into the culture as far as, you know, business owners and musicians and, you know, actors and actresses and all that stuff. We still are athletes only. We still got VLA, Senator VLA. We still got Senator Janelle Saro. You know, and we still got some coaches and stuff like that. So it's so many people we got, and these is people that we are as confirmed that they will do the show already. So 3 shows a week, that's tough, man. I mean,
it'll be tough. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's gonna be tough. We'll see.
We'll stick to the 2 for now.
We stick to the 2 for now. You know,
if the demand rise, you know, if we have a overwhelming demand of multiple shows, more than 2 shows, then we'll revisit that. But 2 shows good for now.
Yeah.
I agree. 2 shows good for now.
And it gives people a time because a lot of people really watch live sometimes. We get a lot, but after the live, they get a chance to go back and watch it. So many more people will go back and watch it. They're like, man, I miss it. You need to let me know when you guys on, and it'll be good that people get a chance to kind of reminiscent on the story for at least a couple of days. If we just do show after show, somebody might get left out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we get that little breathing room.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. You don't want to flood them with too much.
Yeah.
You know, the only time, I mean, what we could do too, if we go to, and this is like once in a while, is we could have like a bonus show, you know, like a bonus show, which would be like the total show of the week. And this is just like once in a while. One thing about the stream that they just did too, you could have up to 9 people live at the same time. So, you know, I know what I want to do is the baseball one with what's his name? Midre,
Robbie and all them guys.
Robbie, yeah, Pico. I want to do a show where all of them could come on and they just talk and stuff like that, and everybody, And I want to do that with basketball too as well. You know, some of the basketball, you know, legends and stuff like Zorro, you know, you guys and Coffee, you know, Mac and stuff like that. You know, Sunil, who are the VI legends and stuff like basketball. And we just have a bonus show and they just kind of, you know, for the fans. And this is just for the fans, etc. But you know, or if it's something that you guys feel like, hey, we need a show, this is something we'd like to talk about. Like we could have a bonus show, we could talk about the horse racing. If Sport want to come on, he's been posting a lot about the horse racing. So if he wants to come on, we could do a bonus show and we focus on that, you know.
That's a great idea.
I was just about to say that.
Tomorrow, see if you want to come on and do a bonus show.
Yeah. So the bonus shows is more of just topics that's going on in the Virgin Islands, and we still have the episodes based on the people that we want to honor and celebrate. You know, even the fans, if there's something they want to talk about, etc., they could come on. You know, like Langolo, she came on and she was talking about how she was looking for athletes and stuff like that. You know, stuff like those type of shows, like a bonus show where they give it information and everything. You know, so.
Yeah, man, sounds good. Well, fellas, there's somebody in the kitchen cooking and they are making me hungry.
I was just gonna say. So, love you, brothers. Like, man, you know, end of the world. I take it easy. Hope the family is good. Check you guys on Sunday.
Fans, appreciate all your support. Gabriel, Langalo, Miss Granville, I can't pronounce your first name. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm gonna say your last name is Granville. Appreciate all your support. Basically, everybody that tuned in, Terry Byron, everybody, big up to all you guys. Much love. I love all you guys. I appreciate the support for all the, you know, all the athletes and everybody. So,
bless up to everybody, man. Everybody take it easy. Love and respect.
Elite Podcast, we out.